glorious moment, bro.
Welcome to another episode of Pels in the Blender. It's your boy A. Davis. I got Mike B in the building on this glorious Saturday morning.
Whoa.
Yeah, you hear me? Welcome to the hold on, man. Hold on. Let me do this properly. Welcome. Hey. Hey, welcome back, Mike. Appreciate you for coming through, dog.
Hey, man. I had to be the first guest on the show when we having mindful moments, bro. Look, got the old
Listen,
fashioned ready to go.
that's what
Lad,
I'm
turn me
talking
up.
about. Look, man, I was gonna push my getting back to my work and out. You know what I mean? On Monday, like I went to the game yesterday. That shit was so discouraging. I was just like, oh, I ain't feeling it this morning. You know what I mean? Like I was drained, they have no energy. And then the news hit. The kids was like, "You want to go for a walk?" Like, you know what? Yeah, man. Let's let's get up, bro. Let's go. We had
Next.
snowballs. You know what I'm saying? We had snowballs this morning. It's a beautiful morning to be a Pels fan. A beautiful morning to be a
Absolutely.
Pels fan. Long overdue. Long overdue. So, kind of the first thing I want to do though is like talk about Willie Green in like not long. Don't have to be long, but I kind of want give Willie just a little. The only slack that I'm gonna give him in this time, in this time at all, is throughout his tenure, right? He did not have a healthy roster at any point. So if I'm gonna cut him any slack or any bail, which I'm really not because you still bad and you proved to be bad, but you did not have for the most part a healthy roster for a full season. The closest thing you got to a healthy roster for a full season was the 49 win season. And even in that year, BI got hurt, you know what I mean, to finish the season off. So you still don't even know like what they could have what they could have been, but I think we still knew exactly what Willie Green was. You know what I mean? Like I think it was obvious what Willie Green was. But the only bill I'm gonna give him is that throughout the entire tenure from start to finish, he had never had a healthy roster. Would you say?
I agree. I mean, let's look at it. He's been here, what, 5 seasons? He's had
Mm-hmm.
Zion for one
Two,
full season.
yeah, and not
One.
even because he got hurt in the playing.
Exactly. So for one full regular season, he had Zion one time in 5 years. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I agree with that. I will say though, one thing you just said where I have to go against it. You said that because he's never had it like a full roster, we never really got to see. I agree to an extent, and the reason why I say to an extent is because the year we the year we lost Zion to the hamstring, and then the
Mm-hmm.
year he played the
Mm-hmm.
70 games. Even though both of those 2 seasons, even still had Zion to be able to start the year, when them two were on the court together, there was just no symmetry, like chemistry between them. There was still a
I
lot of,
agree.
hey, if Bi got the ball, Zion, you gonna sit right here in the dunker spot the entire time. And it was a point where Zion was averaging, Zion was just giving like 16 points a game at a, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah, yeah,
when it flipped to January of the 70 wins, when the 49 win season, Bi was having career lows, 15
yeah,
and 9. We were winning, you know what I
yeah.
mean? But your second best player wasn't there, and he could just never figure that out. And then again, all the reports come out, from people that have sources inside the building. They all say like he didn't listen to his coaches, his assistants. So
Absolutely not. So I agree that Willie Green was very much so a part of his own undoing. The stubbornness was part of it, and like you said, it never clicked. Uh like I said, the only bail I was willing to shoot him was Zion hadn't been out. But like the same thing, like you said, when you had him, when you had him, the times we did see him on the court, it still didn't look good, and that still don't explain all of the blown leads and the double-digit blowouts and not being able to close in the
it's
third
yeah, it's
quarters. And
it was a still he never it's like he peaked his first year as coach. He
yes,
never got better from there. Like that, it was just
What's good, fellas?
downhill. It was just downhill from there. So it's just like,
Absolutely.
you came in here and like you were the players coach. You happy go lucky. You had no expectations that first year.
Mm-hmm.
You made the playoffs. The minute you make the playoffs, even though we were 36 and 46, now expectations are ramped up. National media talking about us. What do you do going into the next season? Because what you say during the summer, you're not doing during the season. So
Yeah, never. Again, we gonna. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna spend much time on Willie Green specifically. But like I said, I did the only bail I was willing to shoot was the
yeah,
injuries of
absolutely.
it.
That's tough.
But
That's tough.
yeah, that was a tough circumstance. But fuck that. You proved to be bad on your own.
Yeah.
Got in your way on your own. Like there were plenty of every coach, in my opinion, has favorites, but the favoritism and how it affected the lineup was something that you couldn't get beyond. So with all of that, with Z this season, Willie was 0-5, so he couldn't use that as an excuse. Absolutely. In a lot of those games, they were competitive in. Like you had opportunities to close a lot of those games. So like it's just, and you knew once the Z injury thing, in my opinion, you knew the Z injury to me wasn't about him actually being, at least it don't look like it was about him actually being hurt, as opposed to like, I can't do this, dog. You know what I mean? I can't do this. But
a hamstring injury that's 7 days.
Yeah, and listen, now I'll say we saw hamstring early in the season was about what, like 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. So, and granted, this is the part that's a little crazy, not crazy, but beneficial. Typically, when anything hamstring related, dog, that dude be out till like January.
Exactly.
So for them to be like, hey, he got, some leg tightness and it only be a week, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of is the indication, in my opinion, that like, all right, this is not necessarily about the injury. He probably could play through some of this stuff. Poole ain't never hurt, dog.
Poole is personal. We saw that
yeah,
way early in the season. So
yeah, JP ain't never hurt, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So with that being the case, let's close the chapter on the Willie Green era. Move beyond that and start transition. Is there any last thing that you want to say about the Willie Green era before we move on from it?
Yeah, I say.
Or if you like want to continue to discuss it a little bit, like whatever. Listen, though, I got time today. So it's whatever.
There's just, because I think you have to talk about Willie Green compared to what's coming. Like, especially I know we're gonna get into Joe Dumars' interview, because a lot of that like was a slap in the face to look, the last comment I see right there. That's sort of how when you text me yesterday, you was like, I'm Joe. Yeah. That's exactly like this. And it's just like, I think that it's like, bro, like there's just so many things that just didn't make sense from Willie Green's side, bro, that I just couldn't grasp. Because it's like, you started DeAndre Jordan 4 days after getting him on the team against Joker,
and then never played him again.
You Kevon Looney for the last 3 or 4 games, he starts the game, plays 4 to 5 minutes, and then doesn't play the rest of the half.
Yeah.
In like the last 3 games. And just I listened to some of the interviews. It's a lot. It's a lot of he has no clue. Like he literally has no clue. You hear him like, hey, Derek Queen hasn't been, like, why has he been getting minutes? Well, with Kevon Looney back and Derek back, it's just there's no minutes there. He's your
what?
He's arguably your best passer on the team already.
He's arguably, respectfully to Trey right now, he's arguably the best player playing right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's not better than Trey, obviously.
Yeah.
But
and I think Trey's starting to put it together, but yeah.
Yeah, but like his impact right now is probably more impactful than Trey's impact, like on the team right now. So that's crazy.
I think like you have that. You have the like I said, bro, he just had no feel for the game. Me and you talked when we did a pod earlier, and maybe before the season even started. And I
Probably.
brought up, I said, Willie Green in the summer did an interview with Fletcher, and
I remember that.
he says during the off season he goes over plays and just different plays and stuff like that, and he calls these players individually and say like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you saw none of that in the season. You
Nope.
saw a bunch of plays getting run with 10 seconds left. You know what I mean? Like Portland was full court pressing us. And by the time we got across half court and got to the top of the key to start the play, there's like 12 seconds left.
Yep.
And nothing gets called. So it's a bunch of ISO basketball and everybody trying to get off and just do what they do. And there's Joe Dumars said it a lot. Like, there was never an identity of this team. In fact, me and you've talked numerous times, like, what is the identity of this team? And that's been for 5 years.
Absolutely.
There's no identity.
The thing with that was most frustrating about this season, and let me pull a comment up again, because me starting the season in the off season and where I was last night. Listen, I left the game early last night because like you could just the script of the game is exactly the same every time. Like you start the there were no adjustments. Obviously, there aren't any adjustments. And once the Lakers decided to ramp it up a little bit, you know what I mean, to ramp it up a little bit, you knew what was going to happen. You knew the third quarter was going to happen. You knew we would make a run in the fourth, but it wasn't going to be no real, you know what I mean, no real run, nothing like that.
I say this, not to cut you off, my fault. Go back that game last night. Look at JJ coaching. Look at Willie coaching. You would have swore
the energy,
Lakers. You would have swore the Lakers were down 20,
bruh. The whole game, JJ up and down the sideline. He talking to the players. It was so, and Willie and he been like that the last couple seasons, but specifically lately he just been. So my thought, and I mentioned this before, though. Do you think because Willie knew this was it, right? Like, and that's why everybody said, like, similarly to the Nico situation coming into the season, like, you probably should have just let him go and like have everybody have the fresh start. But I understand to a degree. I understand Joe just being like, look, I'm gonna give you an opportunity if you want to try this any particular kind of way differently, right? Like, I don't know if this was Griff. I don't know if this was you. I don't know what was going on before it was here. And I think Willie took the opportunity to in my opinion, I don't know if he self-sabotaged, but he was like, look, if I'm going to go out, I'm going down my way. I don't really have no real opportunity to keep this job. The players don't fuck with me, right? Like, so if that's the case, I don't mess with y'all either. Like, just, you know what I mean? Be honest. Like, if y'all don't rock with me, I don't rock with y'all. And I'm going to play Jose. I'm going to play Looney. Like, I'm going to play Looney because I know from whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt like he didn't really want to try things to really make it work, as opposed to just being like, it just is what it is. Like, I'm already out the door, whatever.
See, I wouldn't even give him that benefit of the doubt, because he's been the same coach all 5 years he's been here. He's always played his favorites.
Yep.
Like, in his head, as it's always been, is defense wins you games. So with that being said, I need to keep defense in. And it's just like, he don't even think that if you have all these defensive people in, you're not scoring.
And you're still not defending.
And you're not defending, yeah. So it's not defending. Like anybody, though, he's on at least twice. He done already said how Looney is still coming back from injury. And you can see, though, Looney can't even get up the court, bro. Like, he's limping, running up the court. Yeah. And like, you're starting this man and playing him 5 minutes, and then it's just like.
And the part that's cold-blooded about that is like, in the midst of playing Looney, right? And not even just in the midst of playing Looney, but like Eves don't even get burned. Like,
Eves doesn't make sense.
Eves don't even play. Like, you could argue that Eves is like your best 5. Like, like actual 5-man. You know, I think Queen is more like a 4, Carlo a little bit like a 4. So Eves is really your best 5. And then you saw what Eves looked like in the first game or two, and then how he looked in preseason. In preseason, Eves was playing
like
really
a double.
Yes, playing really, really well in those minutes. And Eves can't get over 10 minutes. Now I know they said he coming back from injury and whatnot, but you know that's not injury. Come on, dog.
That
that's
boy
not
liked
injury.
that tweet. He liked that tweet from Girl.
Liked the tweet and was
in the doghouse.
Bet real. That's how you feel. Come over here, DeAndre. You ready? Suit up. DeAndre sitting there like, suit up. I ain't come here to suit up. I came here to talk to this dude. I came here to mentally keep Derek Queen prepared to play. That's literally my job. And I I even believe Kevon Looney. I think that was Looney's job. I think Joe Dumars, when he came into the season, bro, probably paid Looney to come here. One, to be cool with JP, I know JP need a guy, right? I don't really know. That's your boy, right? Okay, cool. And I need as much mentorship around, like championship mentorship around my big man that I kind of want to transition to move forward with the franchise. Looney wasn't here to actually play.
No.
Like that's why you had, and if you notice, Joe Dumars in his interviews always talked about Eves, Queen. He even mentioned Carlo to a degree. He ain't never really mentioned Looney as far as like extended minutes and stuff like that. Whoa, shout out to you, Jess. Appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. So Willie took the signings, in my opinion, and was like, oh, that's a vet that I could use to get minutes. And then again, if you're watching the film, and that's the part that made me most mad, is like you say you watching the film and you don't see in the film that Derek Queen is dominating his minutes, and Looney is one of the least in respect to Loon. One, not only is he still hurt, but just not productive in those minutes. Like the team is not productive.
And that's my biggest thing. That's what I question. I'm like, all these staffs, and it just goes to tell me like he truly just didn't care to listen to like his staff. Reason being, one, well, first of all, I say this, I question the staff in general, but that's another story for like all these other new coaches have established head coaches on their bench. And Collins, Brewer, all these dudes are new. Borrego was the only existing. But anyways, I say all that to say, like, you have coaches that, I mean, you have the staff members that, like, all they do is watch analytics. All they do is check analytics and be like, okay, advanced stats. Like, hey, look, with this starting 5, we are a plus 30. The offensive rating is this.
Yes.
The starting 5 right now that we're using right now, the offensive rating was 98, which means that's terrible. That's like below average. Just taking out Looney and putting Queen with the same group, the offensive rating was 141, which is above league average, which means that is good. And you still run Looney out there for 5 minutes, and guess what happens? And like even if
5 minutes cost you those Looney minutes, like cost you the Portland game. Like there's no way around it. Those 10 minutes cost you the game.
Yeah, because let's say
go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it.
No, I'm just saying when Queen was in, you were either tied and or leading. But the Looney minutes, you got to fight from behind just to break even. And then when you started the third, they gained the separation in the third, and you was never able to get it back.
And let's say in the minutes Looney's out there, defense is playing well, and like it's Portland is only winning by 2 1/4.
Yeah.
Because Looney's out there, offensively, you're not doing anything. So let's just say it was Queen out there. Maybe you win that quarter by 4 points. Even if it's like, you know what I mean? It was just stuff like that. And then though, once again, I've seen it too many times. I've seen Looney shoot more threes here than he ever shot in Golden State. What are you doing, bro? That's not. It's like that Patrick Ewing video. Like, do you practice that? Clearly, you do here. Like, clearly, they was letting them do that. I know James Borrego was probably sitting there like, what the hell is this?
Listen, so I just with that, we all know it was time. There were multiple reasons as to why it was time, and I'm just glad we was able to turn a page. Before we transition, because I really want to two things I want to do. I want to go over the Joe Dumars interview for people who hadn't seen it. He did Q&A this morning and was answering some of those questions, and a lot is in that interview that absolutely need to be discussed. But before that, what was he talking about? I kind of want to know what it is that we should be expecting. Like, what's your expectation for, like, now that the move is made from Willie to JB? Like, what is your expectation for the team right now?
So me and you have talked a few times where I was like, bro, I'm not saying this team is loaded with like
Top end
OKC.
talent.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say like these got OKC type level talent. Um, but my expectations, that point right there, shout out D. Like that
Appreciate
part,
you,
like
bro.
those are your three big, like those are your that's your like Looney and Jordan are by far your fourth and fifth. Like again, DeAndre Jordan is like player 15 outside of like
Yeah,
two-way players. Like, you know what I
they
mean?
are not there to play, bro. They're
Yeah.
your vets in the room.
So my expectations are just a better feel for the game. When Borrego was in Charlotte, and I have my like obviously like
Reservations
yeah,
about Borrego.
reservations. But at the same time, like as more and more stuff come on, you hear like, nah, Willie don't listen to no one. It's just like,
Mm-hmm.
well, I can't knock Borrego for that. And I think Borrego gonna take it personal because it's like even if like I think he got turned down for jobs because of how bad it looked here. And it's like,
I
hold
I
on.
agree.
You're
Yeah,
an offensive minded coach, but the offense on this Pels team is horrible.
the worst
Why
we've
should
ever seen. Yeah.
why should we bring
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think I lost Mike. Can y'all still hear me? Am I still rolling? Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on. Well, that's not good. Hold on, let me see. Whoa. Well, yeah, I'm good. Appreciate it. Well, until let me take Mike off until we get Mike back. Um, I just think that JB under these new circumstances, like to kind of follow up with what Mike was saying, how he thinks that Borrego was hindered so much by what was going on because people around the league was looking at, if you go to any of the like top candidates for head coaching jobs for other people, you'll see that like James Borrego name is like top 3 or top 4 on almost everybody's list, which means that a lot of people around the league consider him to still be a quality coach, one of the up next for potential jobs around the league. So it's gonna be interesting, I think, when you have an opportunity to have that particular guy in the building, and Joe Dumars came out and said that, you know, unless anything unforeseen happens, that they intend to have Borrego finish the season out. That I think you'll really get an opportunity now to finally evaluate the team properly. And I think people the team soured on Willie Green so much over his hold on. Here we go.
uh,
Whoa,
my
you
bad.
good?
I don't know what that was.
Nah, you straight, dog. You straight. I was following up with your point saying how a lot of people, how Borrego being associated here has probably cost him, a couple of head coaching opportunities, because if you look at a lot of the lists, if you just Google or look up like top NBA head coach and like, prospects for like next job, Borrego was always top 3 to 5 on everybody's list moving forward. So like to have that guy, regardless of if you keep him or not, you gotta assume that like for the rest of the season, if they decide to keep him for the rest of the season, it's still a top coaching prospect, right? That's going to be running your organization. So I
Yeah.
think with that, you'll finally be able. Yes, I do think JB was hindered, but two things can happen. One, he's gonna be able to have an opportunity to rehabilitate his reputation and his stock. So I know he coming in like looking to you know kind of at least lean into something to show what he can do.
Yeah.
So his like even if Joe decided to go a different direction, it could be like, you saw what I did with we was 2-10 and we finished whatever, or the rest of the season, the rest of the way. So he's looking to reestablish himself, but also we finally get an opportunity, in my opinion, to evaluate the roster.
Yeah.
Because let's say hypothetically you didn't have Borrego, right? Let's say you didn't have Borrego and Collins got up, like was the interim. Would you even still be able to look at the roster and say what it could be or what it couldn't be? Like, you don't even feel that confident because you don't have a confident. Like, it's almost like as if Willie was still here.
Yeah.
At least with Borrego, you feel like, okay, this dude amongst the league is supposed to be one of the top coaches or whatever. If they don't look a certain way, I think it's not only an indictment on Borrego to a degree, but now you can really see, okay, the roster is what it is, and now it's time to make a move.
Absolutely. So to that point, like I know you was asking before I got kicked out, whatever happened, like the expectations are just like, bro, like just competent coaching. Like,
yes,
okay, let's see. Looney is not good. I'm not gonna start you. You just not the Hulk. You know what? You can't dribble, but guess what I'm gonna do? Because you can't dribble, if I have to put you in the game, the plays ran for you are going to be best suited for you. Once again, James Borrego is the reason why David Griffin gave Devontae Graham $50 million.
Absolutely.
Devontae Graham is no longer in the league.
Devontae Graham was a 6th man of the year. Not 6th man, most improved.
Yeah.
It was most improved.
He averaged 18 and 6. he balled so much. You had David Griffin saying like, hey, you know, like Devontae Graham was like Dame in terms of like long ball threes. That was James Borrego. He had Charlotte as a top 10 offense in the league. They just didn't have the roster, and they still don't. Like Charlotte is Charlotte. Like they just as bad as the Pelicans. Nobody telling them relocate. But anyways, like like don't get me started. That's a full pod on that type of stuff.
That's absolutely an episode we gotta do.
Like just coaching competence, right? Like I expect to see, even if we don't win more, I expect to see better substitutions. I expect to see just better feel for the game, like naturally, like you know what I mean? Like Willie mentioned when they asked him last time, once Queen started playing more, he was like, yeah, he's a hub for us. Duh. That's what he was drafted to be. Like, what do you mean? Like, that's what he was drafted to be, a hub. He was drafted to be that playmaking. He was drafted to be Sabonis, Joker, Şengün. That's what he was drafted to be.
Yep.
Like, you just figuring that out. It took you almost 10 games to figure out that's what he is. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and then me and you talked about it for I think it was Portland. Like after the Portland game, he was like, you know, like he's getting those minutes. He's getting those minutes. And it's like, dog, yeah, he's like, he just played a career high. True. He played 37 minutes. Here's the issue. He played the last 20 minutes of the game. He should have been at 8 minutes left in the third quarter of the Portland game and played the rest of the game. He was, by the fourth quarter, even though with TV timeouts and all that, he was tired.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. We'll address this real quick. I'm assuming, shout out Kurt. Appreciate you for tapping in though. I'm assuming when he's like Queen B finally making the move, you're talking about Gail, right? So what do you think of the Gail? Like, what do you think brought this about? What do you think brought this about? Essentially, in the interview, she was just kind of like, I'm a summarize it. Shout out to Shamit. Shamit did a great job, in my opinion, on his piece this morning. And if y'all don't see it, I know it's on X going around right now. I reposted it. A couple people reposted it. But in my opinion, I think he did a good job of breaking down her interview into like layman's terms for people to understand what it means. But like essentially, she was just kind of like, yeah, me and Joe talked at half, and I essentially gave the blessing. What do you think was going on with Gail throughout this entire time and process and all of that actually led up to this happening?
I think like we the green light was finally given to Joe to fire Willie. I think now because
Yes,
Shams posted that picture, that graphic that said
yeah,
0-6. The
yes.
graphic literally said, which means that graphic was already done. That
That
means
mean it. Yes,
he was supposed to be going then. I'm pretty sure Gail and everything was like, well, no, look, we got Charlotte and Dallas coming up. Let's see if we can, get some wins and maybe that keeps going. Like I definitely believe everything to do with Gail not wanting Willie going. She always said how she likes him. She like he's done a great job team and everything like that. And like now I think that article is sort of damage control on her part. Cause she's like, hey, look, I'm the owner of this team. I could do what I want. Y'all work for
yeah,
me. You gonna
yes,
take this blame. It's not
yeah.
like any other company you go to, the CEO is not gonna take the blame, even if they're the
No,
ones that mess up.
I hire people for that. I feel that though.
Exactly. So again, that entire interview, when she was defending Mickey, she started bringing up stuff
Yes,
Mickey did in 2006 and
yeah.
2017 to justify why he's not going anywhere. When it
Mm-hmm.
came to Joe and the Pelicans, she was like, I gave Joe full authority to do all of that. Like,
Yeah.
we have a team that could win now, and that needs to happen. And that was essentially being like, hey, Joe, do what you got to do. But I do
Mm-hmm.
think that that was never always the case because I do truly believe, and Joe during this interview today, I know we're going to touch on it. Like, he said on things like, I want to give Willie a fair shot and everything like that. But I'm more than sure he came in and was like, do I have
I
to keep
know.
Willie? Do I have
Yeah.
to keep Willie or not? Like, yeah, you have to keep him. And it's like, all right, cool. I
Yeah.
evaluate him, I guess. So,
Yeah. So I think I completely 1000% like I 1000% agree that that's likely how that went down. And I feel like Joe game 2, like I'm gonna evaluate, right? He's like, I'm gonna evaluate him. You know when I think the evaluation was complete? Preseason.
yeah,
Preseason and game 2, the evaluation was complete for Joe. Because he probably came into the season and remember this. Think about this. Think about this. He said, well, Willie Green said, I talk to Joe every day. After practice, we talk every day. So think about this. After practice, after games, after reviews, Joe probably sitting there like, this man really don't know what the fuck going on. Like he really don't know what's going on. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm giving, you remember when Griff was like, I'm giving you the answers and you still can't pass the test. Like I know Joe was probably sitting there after a couple of them games like, no, what is you like? What are we doing? This is real, right? After game one, the team came out motivated, looking to play the right way, blah blah blah. And dog, by the second quarter, all of that had washed away. All of that had washed away.
same
You
old,
saw it,
same old.
same old. You saw it in preseason, right? You saw it in the preseason. They had some of the same stuff. So I'm pretty sure he really came in when they had the conversation. What you want me to do with Willie, right? What you want me to do with Z? Because I think Joe understands, and people have they gripes about Zion, but I think Joe understands that you need talent to win in this league. At the end of the day,
Yes.
I rather have the talent and figure out the coaching than have a mediocre coach and not have talent. Because if I got a great coach with no talent, it don't matter. Like you know what I mean? Like I'd rather have the talent and then we could figure that out. So with Willie, like Willie is neither talented or like you know what I'm saying? Like it really was no purpose. So then after like preseason and all of that, and then I guarantee you after like all of the practices and stuff, and you saw this man face in the Spurs game, and then Zion looked frustrated, Poole looked frustrated, you arguing with dog. Do you know? And think about this for a second, and then we could go to the interview. But think about this: if Joe Dumars, one of his big trades was Jordan Poole, and you heard how him and Troy Weaver talked about Jordan Poole bringing him in. Though, if you like above Looney, above whoever else he brought, above the rookies, you don't think that he want Jordan Poole to work out? You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Especially knowing that you could have got, especially knowing you had CJ on the expiring contract, so that's money opened up. Like you essentially invested in the Jordan Poole.
Absolutely. Sadiq Bey is paying off, but you benching like you dog, it's 2 games into the season. By the third game, he would have been coming off the bench if Zion wouldn't like I'm hurt. But like by game 4, the man coming off the bench, and at the time he was the second lead. I think he's still Trey might be now, but like he's the second lead scorer. He's the second lead scorer on the team. So you can't say he wasn't playing like appropriately on the bench for my rookie point guard and think about this. If you Joe Dumars, do you really want your rookie point guard in that situation this early into the season?
Nope.
So like I know Joe probably sitting there like, no, what the hell is this? What? You know what I mean? So I just what you think of that? I lost Mike again.
3 games. Fear is hooping. But no, I agree. Like I think you could tell, like Joe always speaks on identity. Even before the season started, he was always like, "I'm gonna bring out a team that plays hard, all the time." And what we've been seeing, that team ain't been playing hard. He says, we're gonna establish an identity.
Yes,
there is no identity. You know what I mean? He was like, wins or losses, it don't matter. Y'all gonna represent the city well. Y'all gonna step on that court and y'all gonna play hard. And if you play hard, it's gonna lead to wins. There's many other coaches and teams out there that don't have their best players and are still. Though I think the Pistons beat. Who did the Pistons play last night? They played.
I know it was the Bulls. I think it was one game they played.
They played whoever they played last night. They won. There was no Cade. There was no Jalen Duren. There was no none of them played, and they still got the dub.
They played the Sixers.
So the Sixers, no Cade, no Jalen Duren, and I think they were missing one other person. All 3 of them dudes are out, and they still won the game.
The Pistons 11-2.
Exactly.
Off of like just you can play hard in the regular season and win games if your coaching is competent, though.
Yep.
And if you start winning, you'll find ways to win.
Yep.
Bro, they turned the comments off of James' interview. Wait. What you mean?
James Borrego must be interviewing right now, and the Pelicans turned the comments off.
Oh,
I'm not shocked by that.
No, I'm not shocked. Hold on. Let me see if I could let me see if we can pull it up while we here. Hold on.
Do you find it? I know you said. Do you find it interesting that like Joe Dumars' interview wasn't with the Pelicans and it was with like WDSU?
No, to be honest, because I mean, isn't that all like Pelicans networks? I don't see the wait, I don't even see where's the interview at. I don't see it on the page. I don't know. It'll be up in a second.
Yeah,
it'll be up in a second.
It probably went live on Twitter first.
Possibly, yeah. So no, I don't honestly no, I don't feel no type of way about it. It's surprising or anything like that. So but I just think that's typical Pelican stuff though. Like that's typical Pelican stuff. So but let's move forward, right? Let's move forward. We kind of discussed a little bit of that. You know what? Look, let's do the Joe interview. Let's do the Joe interview. For those of y'all who for the WDSU. So for those of y'all who didn't see it, Joe Dumars spoke earlier this morning on the move and what happened and whatnot. So we're gonna go ahead and play that, go through the comments and whatnot, and give our opinion on what it is that Joe said, because in my opinion, Joe answered a lot of questions that I had seen a video Jan. Bro, the other day, and this is the part that's crazy. You see Borrego, they say a lot of the people that's at practice say you see Borrego working with Zion every day, like at practice and stuff like that.
The dude Dotson on Twitter, he said Borrego has been working with Zion since the beginning of the year.
Exactly.
Like since Memphis, and probably even dating back to last year. He's always the The guys. Yep.
Bruh, been leaning into maximizing the star player, like leaning into maximizing a guy that you absolutely need to maximize. The next move, Kurt. The next move is we going to this James Borrego era, and the big part about the James Borrego era is, hold on, where is it? I know somebody put it. You finally get to shout out to you, D boy. You finally get to evaluate the team. That's
Yep.
really what matters, and that's really what it boils down to. That's the most important thing. Like, not even evaluating Borrego, evaluating the team and the roster is the most important thing. And you feel like you're in a good position to do that. What you think?
I agree. Like at the best, you have like a offensive minded coach, so you can see like, okay, because again, as of right now, you hit on your rookies.
Yes.
At this point, it's just like, am I about to give Zion his money?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
if I am, can he play with Derek Queen and Fears and Trey? Because my opinion, like I said before, even if you move Zion, I think if you're going to move players, I think it should be Zion, Herb, then Trey. And the reason I say Trey simply is because of the fact that he can shoot, bro. And he's just going to go back to the role he was before becoming the man.
Catch and shoot off ball.
Exactly. And with Derek Queen and Fears is going to give you constant rim pressure like Ja.
Yes.
He ain't the athlete as Ja, obviously. But he's going to give you constant rim pressure like Ja. Derek Queen, we seen what he could do with Trey. So Trey go back to where he was at, shooting the ball and averaging maybe 16, 17 points a game. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But you still, now is that time to evaluate that. So we might have messed around and see Jordan Hawkins come back alive.
You might, listen, you might, because like Hawkins, even last game, even yesterday, he didn't play terrible. It's just, I think the confidence is shot, but he keep putting himself in bad situations. Like, dog, you don't need to dribble. And
yeah, that was terrible.
And then the JB offense, the games you saw him with, said, dog, don't put the ball on the floor. Set yourself, catch and shoot. We gonna run stuff for you to where you gonna get easy open looks. All you got to do is knock that down. So I'm just interested to see if he can bring back some life to the offense. I mean, to Jordan Hawkins at all. Yeah. Because again, right now that's a throwaway player. You can't do nothing with that.
He's going to get Hawkins' value up enough to where Hawkins is moved at the deadline.
I hope so. The last thing, before I start playing the video, and we'll talk about it when it comes up. But you mentioned identity earlier, right? Joe in this interview was going to say that's the reason that we moved on, is because like we just didn't see any kind of identity. We didn't see anything, whether it's offensive, defensive, like we didn't see nothing, which lets me know that Joe don't care what it is that you try to do. Just do something. Like, just be good at something to where, like, example, if Borrego decides, listen, we're not going to be a good defensive team no matter what. So we playing all the offensive people. We're going to just be really good offensively. Joe would be cool with that, because that lets me know we're at least starting to move in some kind of positive direction. You get what I'm saying with that?
Yep. Yeah. Defense going to come, bro. Like, you play, like, I do believe you have to be a consistent playoff team, you have to be a top 15. If you're not a top 15 defense, your offense better be like top 10. Yes. But I think that, look, I'm not worried about championships right now, bro. Give me multiple years of playoff basketball. Yeah. And with that, bro, you got to score a lot of points. Yes. That's what Indiana did. And then their defense eventually turned up.
Got into the playoffs against somebody lacking, that's a win.
Yeah. Like, no, that's a win. Denver don't have no. You can't sit up here and tell me the Denver Nuggets right now got some elite defenders. Aaron Gordon is a great defender. You know what I mean? But the rest of their lineup ain't no defender. I think they're like number 2 in defense right now.
Yeah, we don't have nothing. We have too much. We have too much offensive talent. We have too much offensive talent to not look competent offensively. Like, at the very least, you shouldn't be struggling as much as you're struggling offensively. But no. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this interview.
First of all, I want to open up and just say, I have a great amount of respect for Willie Green as a person, as a coach, but I also understand this is a tough business and tough decisions have to be made. Um, we have
Mike, if at any point you want me to pause it, just let me know.
All right.
uh, faith in James Borrego as the interim coach. James has been here for, I think, 3 years now, has sat in the head coaching seat before in the NBA and understands the job. So we have great faith and confidence in James going forward. Um, Listen, at the end of the day, guys, we're all professionals. Um,
Yes, we
we
are.
all have a responsibility to show up and perform in this business. Um, and that's what we're going to keep doing here. We're going to lean in to establishing who we want to be here. And that's really what this is all about, taking responsibility, accountability, and not shying away from it. And so that's what we want to do here. And that's really what went into the decision to continue to lean into who we want to be here. And so with that, guys, I just wanted to kind of make that statement and then open it up to questions from each and every one of you. No problem.
You stop it there real quick. Just
All right.
out the gate, like
Go ahead.
accountability. All right.
No, go ahead. I'm
Oh yeah,
listening.
accountability and identity. He throughout this entire interview, like he speaks on identity at multiple different times. Like out the gate, he's like, "Hey, look, we need to figure out who we are."
Yes.
You go through all the other top teams in the NBA, and the teams that are starting to become better teams. They all have like an identity established of what they're going to be. Like
Even some
we
of the bad teams have identity.
exactly like you can't say we're going to get up and down the floor and you don't get up and down the floor because of the
And
players
then,
you're playing. You can't
yep,
say we're going to shoot 43s a game, but don't play the players that's going to allow you to shoot 43s a game. So it's just
yep.
like you're saying one thing. It's like you're telling us what we want to hear, but
Mm-hmm.
but what you're doing is not happening. So Joe's saying like, hey, we need to figure out who we gonna be because what I
Yeah.
just seen is not it. So yeah,
I so I like the idea of them saying, the accountability portion of it. I just I hate the fact that we are now 2-10 because you saw this at when they had the 0-6. Like you saw this at the 0-6. You saw this at what I mean at 0-7. At 2-6. At 1-6. At 2 even in the wins, and that's what I was saying, bro. Even in the wins, you didn't look good in the games that you won, in my opinion. It was too bad. It was two of the worst teams, and you struggled to close some of those games. So like even though you got 2 wins, it's like it was like a faulty 2 wins, in my opinion. Then you went right back to doing what it is that you have been doing. So like I like that we made the decision finally, but with the accountability portion of it, and I'm glad he's stepping up. But like this still goes to show that like the organization are gonna do what they want to do on their timeline, and that to me is like a little frustrating moving forward.
yeah, we ran like a mom and pop shop.
Yes, absolutely. But let's go ahead and keep on with this as they open it up for questions.
Hey, Joe, one of the things you kind of talked about was that how you want this team to play
That's Rod Walker asking this question, by the way.
hard and kind of represent the city. Was it more of a factor of how the team was playing, or was it just strictly, the one-loss record?
So, good question. So, Rod, it really wasn't the one loss record as the ultimate determining factor. That was not it. Um, I was very clear from the very beginning. There was no mandate that you have to win a certain amount of games. There wasn't even a mandate that, oh, you have to make the play in or the playoffs. It was, we have to establish who we're going to be here in New Orleans going forward. And I just did not see that happening. Play in or the playoffs. It was a determining factor.
Hold on, I had to rewind that because that's important. There was no mandate for no winning, no numbers, or nothing like that. He said, but you have to establish what it is that you're going to be, what it is you're going to look like, which means, dog, I don't care about your wins and losses. You could be 0-6. but your 0 and
How does it
6.
look?
Yeah, how does your 0 and 6 look, bro? I'm cool with moving the pick. Like, I don't care about we don't care about none of that. What do you look like? You get what I'm saying? So that's very important to me.
Bro,
That
they
was
had
not
eight
it.
losses. 8 losses, 4 of them were by 20 or more.
Yes. What three of them by 30.
You look
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. And even in the close losses, one, they still damn near double-digit losses. And then there's just times where you're not leading at any point in the game. Like, most of the game, you just down and don't look like you got any shot throughout multiple points of the game.
I was very clear from the very beginning. There was no mandate that you have to win a certain amount of games. There wasn't even a mandate that, you have to make the play-in or the playoffs. It was, we have to establish who we're going to be here in New Orleans going forward. And I just did not see that happening. And that was, more than anything else, right, was the determining factor here.
Okay, and I got one follow-up on that.
Okay.
I think I just went blank on it, but
It'll come back to you.
all right, you can oh, here it is. Yeah, Miss Benson yesterday, she talked about how she thought that this team was built to win now, and after watching 12 games, is that do you like the roster that you've seen, and do you think this team can win now?
I will stand on what I've been saying since I got here, Rod. I'm not judging this on wins and losses right now. I'm judging this on establishing who we're going to be going forward. That was what I said from the beginning. That was the basis for this decision. And so that, more than the wins and losses for me right now, Rod, is the number one factor. I did not see us establishing anything in terms of an identity of who we're going to be. That more than anything else is why.
He basically saying, like, dog, I can't answer the question about the roster because it's not being maximized.
Yeah.
So he's just like, I can't. You're asking me if I feel as though this is a playoff roster, and it's just like, I
don't
can't
know.
answer that. I can't answer that because they weren't put in their best positions to show me that they can, to where I can answer that question. I
agree. That's exactly how I took it. I'm like, basically, like, dog, you saying you put this roster together to be win now. He was like, essentially, my thought was like, he was probably like, I ain't say that. I moved the pick, but I ain't never say that this was a win now roster. I said that our goal was to compete. Like, I want to be able to see us build some kind of identity. And that's why evaluating this so, and like, when he talked about the evaluation process is so important, because he was like, dog, I ain't never tell y'all that this was a win now roster. I said from day one that I don't know if we gonna make the playoffs or be a play-in or nothing like that. And credit to Joe, he ain't never like from day one, he had never said like the expectation was to win any games. Like, he's been
consistent. He's been consistent.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's good or bad, but he was like, I don't know what they're gonna look like. But I need them to try and establish something. And obviously what we know is that, what he decided is that, I'm glad he made this decision, is that, like, and he knows enough about the game to know he didn't decide that the roster was as bad as Willie Green was playing it. He was like, okay, listen, I know we ain't this goddamn bad. You know what I mean? So I'm glad he made the decision and not, think like, okay, if I give Willie different players, it could look different, because it wouldn't have. Like, you could change every player on the roster. Like, you could probably give Willie Green the Nuggets roster, and it would not maximize at all.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, this is Will. Now, you talked all summer about, what type of roster you want to build and what you want it to look like. Now that you're going to be hiring the next coach here, what kind of traits are you looking for in the next head coach for the Pelicans?
So, well, it's really someone that's going to really embrace establishing exactly who we want to be here. Listen, when that becomes the reason that you make a move like this, that also becomes the kind of litmus test for the next coach of, like, can we build an identity here? And so that's really what I'm going to be looking for, Will, is a coach that's really going to build an identity here, and that's what's going to go into the decision. Obviously, you want someone smart, you want someone who can communicate, you want all of the things. But more than anything else, we have to build an identity here in New Orleans.
Let me pause it right there. What you think of that comment?
It's always identity. Like every time he gets a question, he speaks on identity. He's like, hey, I need someone to come in here and establish something that sounds like Tom Thibodeau, but that sounds like Tom Thibodeau. That sounds like a Mike Malone.
Yeah.
It could be a Sam Cassell, maybe. But
it could be Borrego to a degree.
Yeah, it could. It could. He got James Borrego, and he's going to talk about that further in this interview. James Borrego got 70 games, bro. That's a long time.
A lot of time
to figure something out. A long time. But
Willie just got 12 games. Willie just got 12 games of, you know what I mean? So you know what through like, and if the wins and losses don't matter, you can take the time to like really establish what it is that you want to do and get these guys playing a certain type of way.
Because you can see, like, you get the coach right? You get the coach right, then it's all up to like building the roster behind it. So if you see Queen, Fears, Trey, Zion, and all of them like starting to gel and like, hey, they pulled together 4 wins, maybe 2 wins they probably shouldn't have won. Like it's like, hold up, like, all right, like we getting something there. Let's see what happens next. Let's see if James got them like, hey, y'all on a 4-game winning streak. Why not make it 6? Why not make it 7? Like, don't just settle for the 2 good teams y'all beat. What can y'all do more?
Yep.
And now you got that established, you know what I'm saying? That identity going. But we're like probably 5 minutes into the interview, and every time he gets questioned, it always comes back to figure out who we are.
And the part that I think is most important, because again, it goes back to the identity and evaluating, right? I don't know. I don't even know what kind of players we need. I don't know who to go trade. Like let's say they have possible deals out there, right? Well, if the coach that I have don't play that style, then why would I give him that kind of player? You know what I mean? So like, if the coach can establish, I think you have until the trade deadline, obviously, to start showing what it is you want to look like. And then you can start seeing the moves happen like around the edge of the rosters to maximize what it is we need. Like, why would I go get a defensive player who can't shoot if like we ain't playing that style? Like, we don't care nothing about defense, or like however it is you trying to do it. You know, like if you can establish the identity, then you know what it is I need to do. Or like we don't have enough of something, because you can start seeing what it is you're trying to do. Like, maybe we need another shooter. Maybe we need, like, you don't even know, like, you really, because me and you talked about the way that this team should play and all of that. But the way Willie Green plays, like hypothetically, if Joe would have went got Garrison Matthews, right, who we know was a knockdown shooter, do we believe that he would have played him?
No.
You get what? So like, if you Joe, like, why would I go waste the resource of going and get him?
True.
Yeah.
That's
so I just that's wild, bro. Well, let's keep going.
Do you have an idea of what you want that identity to be?
Well, I think the coach and you sit down. You don't just make it in a vacuum. That's why you sit, you interview, you talk to coaches, and you collaborate on this. So, look, there are some staples to winning, Will. You got to be tough, resilient. You got to be able to defend. You got to be able to have enough offense. But when you start talking about building identity, that's always collaborative with the coach. You just don't make that decision yourself and then hire a coach and say, here's your identity, go out and do it. Like that, just not how it works.
You good with them? Keep going?
Yeah, we can keep going.
All right.
Hey, Joe, John Sokoloff over here.
Okay.
I know you talked about James, and we've seen what he's done in Charlotte. I think he's led them to their only above 500 season in Charlotte in the last 9 years. Did how much has his, success previously as a head coach kind of factored into you being comfortable making this decision and kind of giving him the keys?
The first time I talked to James about this position that he's in right now was this morning about 9:15 a.m.
Do you believe? I paused it. Do you believe that?
No.
So the part I believe is this is the first time we talked about this position. Like, hey, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but like, I don't think they had the conversation. I think it was understood that, like, hey, you're not going nowhere. You know what I mean?
He was blocked from getting the same assistant head coach position elsewhere. Why? Like,
so you think he verbally told him, or you think it was just like
I
think
think
it was just
during
understood.
the summer. I think during the summer when Borrego was probably about to take the Knicks job or wherever else he was going, I'm pretty sure they were like, "Hey, bro, Willie's going to get the coach. Like, Willie's not going to be here. You're going to get the majority of the season to earn your contract and be the head coach here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't let you go. Like, you're not becoming a head coach. You're like, because you could block it if it's not like a head coach, like
A head coaching job, yeah.
And I think that like your time is going to come. Just have a little patience with me, and your time is going to come. Obviously, PR wise, he has to say that.
Yeah,
this is not the first conversation he's had with James Borrego, like about like, hey, what do you think this could be?
Let me ask you this. This is an interesting thought I had. We'll go back to this, but like, if Griff was allowed to, like, let's just say Borrego is really good, hypothetically, right? I'm not saying he will or won't be, but let's just say he's really good, like really good. No, you know who would be mad as hell? Griff. Griff should just be steaming because he wanted to fire Willie
last year.
Not just last season. In the 49 win season, he probably wanted to make the move. When they brought Borrego in, he probably wanted to transition and just didn't have the freedom to do so.
He shouldn't have.
No, he shouldn't have. He shouldn't have had he should have been able to fire him last year. Like, I ain't saying Griff had to stay, but I'm saying when last season started to fall apart early, Willie should have been let go in the beginning of last season.
Yeah, I agree. Simply because you could have seen Borrego. If it looked good, Borrego could get his staff in here to start this season. And have his staff. But it was just like, or
you could have just fired everybody.
Yeah, like Griff,
fired everybody.
Like, exactly. Like Griff, bro, Borrego would have been your fourth coach in 6 years. You don't deserve to be able to pick another coach. 4 coaches in 6 years. You kept Gentry. You fired SV Stan after a year. You brought in Willie. You gonna fire him after 3 years? No, you don't get the opportunity to do this. So I see why Griff got fired. To be honest with you, and there's some other things like Griff. As bad as he was in certain things, Griff got a lot of work done. Like
he did.
Like facility wise, I heard like with the facility operation part of it, like making them want to spend money. So yeah, bro, we'll see. But yeah, like I said, like it'll be. I wonder how that works. So the Borrego's gonna come to coach. I wonder if he could bring on like some assistants that's just sitting out there right now.
That's what I was wondering too. Like, is the staff like, because this ain't even Borrego's staff. I wonder if, and also I wonder if they've been like held back a little bit. Like, do they have ideas that they've been wanting to, like the staff itself in general? Like, you don't even know what the staff is.
We hear all the time that Willie didn't listen to his staff. So if he didn't listen to his staff, then we don't know what's happening with them dudes.
Yeah, so that's an interesting point, an interesting thought too.
You can't do it that way. You can't have so you can't sit in this seat that I'm sitting in and have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Like, I'm all in with the head coach and with Willie. I'm all in with him. I wasn't at all, I can tell you this, at all thinking about what Borrego did in Charlotte. It just it's a recipe of how not to do stuff, and so that wasn't a factor for me, because I, as I said to Willie, man, I'm all in with you. And I told Willie that when I first got here. I told Willie that throughout the whole time, that look, I'm always in with you. And so, and I was until we made the decision this morning.
And I was.
Boy, damage control, boy.
Absolutely.
They
And
be
I
so
was.
media trained.
Yeah, no,
I really be wanting them sometimes to just be honest.
just be
Like,
keeping a
man,
stack,
that boy was
dog.
sad, bro. I wanted to get him out here back in
Keep it,
April when I got here.
keeping a stack, bro. When I came into the season, I wanted to fire everybody. I really wanted to fire everybody. The mandate was real. The mandate was real.
Yep.
I fought for Z. I wanted to fire Willie. I was like, all right, I'll take the bullets, but this guy sucks. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just find that funny.
Morning, and then now it's, I have to be all in to JB, and to be fair to him and anybody that sits in that seat, man, you have to be fair to them and be all in with them.
You think James Borrego got a real opportunity to keep this job, or do you think, like, I think for the season, yes, but do you think he has an opportunity to keep this job beyond this season, or like Joe already, like, I know who I'm going to get, dog. I already know who the guy is.
Joe probably had someone in mind. I'm pretty sure when Joe took the job, he probably
Had a
already
couple
talked
ideas.
to people, had a couple of ideas. I do think that, like, you have to, like, bro, like, Joe was hired incorrectly, right? Like, he shouldn't have just been given the keys like that. You should have vetted everyone. You know what I mean? The right way. However, like, he's here now. I do think that to do this properly, like, you have to evaluate it right. And if Borrego comes out and let's just say of the next 70 games, they win
42.
Let's say you go 30, they win 35 and they go 37 and 45 on the year. Right? Like, after starting 2-10, like, I think that's like that's like you go 500 the rest of the season. Like, that's like, hey, bro, that's like, you probably, if he wins half of the games going on, you probably in the play-in competing for, like, you probably the 10th seed, right?
Do you think 500 is good enough to keep a coach?
I think it depends on how it looks, because let's say you go the full season. Let's say he got the full season, they go 41 and 41, and it's just like, you're not bad, you're just not good. You can see, like, all right, this is probably a roster issue. Like, I think with 70 games, they'll be able to tell, like, we have a roster issue here, and we need to figure that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, it depends on how it looks. So let's just say you come in now and, like, we scoring like 120 a game. Like, offense is booming. It's just like, all right, yeah, you got that established. Like, they gonna get up threes, they gonna play, like, you know what I mean?
So I get you. So there's a way that James Borrego can keep this job.
I think so.
Without doing something, because even when the season started, I'm like, dog, for Willie to keep this job, he got to get to like the second round of the playoffs. You get what I'm saying? Like,
for me, I think, let's say Borrego come in here and, like, again, go 35 games, right? And win 35 of the next 70. And then in the off season, he go to Joe, like, and Troy, and like, look, this is the staff I'm bringing in here, though, because he's not keeping none of this staff. You know what I mean? Yeah, you get, like, Collins, Brewer, all y'all gone. Like, JB about to, like, bring in. He's probably gonna bring in vets with him. So now
I'm torn on that, dog. I ain't gonna lie, because I don't know if, and again, I understand the roster and how it looks, but, like, I don't know if 500 is enough, because I do agree with the identity and stuff like that, but I don't know if 500 to me is enough to sign on for 3 or 4 more years. Do you get what I'm saying?
I think it gives him a chance depending on how it look, because, like, you already 2-10. You're already 2-10. I'm not saying, like, because for me, even if you go 500, you still got to be like, hey, let me call Malone and see Mike Malone and see what he think. Let me call Terry and be like, hey, you saw what we just did with, like, they're like, what do you think? You know what I mean? Because again, like, there's been rumors like Mike Malone ain't trying to come to this. Tibbs ain't trying to see this. You know what I mean? They said Sam Cassell might be interested. Like, you know what I mean? Is that the type of coach you're going to get? Like a Sam Cassell? Or you going to get, like, an established, like, Malone being like, nah, I see what y'all doing. Like, let's just say Derek Queen come out now and look like,
well, yeah. And it's
do Mike
Malone see it and be like, I got my new Joker. I got my new Joker.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So it's we're gonna see, bro.
Yeah, it's interesting. Aaron got our Rancho Cucamonga on. You know what I mean? As soon as I got my check, I was gone.
Exactly.
It tastes better too, don't it? Yeah. Bro, that freedom feel good. Feel like hope and opportunity. But let's keep rolling.
Hey, Joe, thanks for doing this. You talk
Shout out
about
to
building
Schmidt.
identity, and this summer you talked about having Zion.
Bro, for a second. Schmidt be with it with the questions, dog. I ain't gonna lie.
Tell that boy to unblock me on Twitter for whatever reason I'm blocked. And I have no idea why I'm still blocked. I never talked to him ever.
Hey, bro, listen. I'm trying to get Schmidt on the show, man. Hopefully he could come do what it is, because that dude absolutely be asking direct questions that we be wanting to get the answers to. Him, Grub was known for that. So like we absolutely be needing some like people in the building to do those things. And I feel like at this point now we need to study the team. That's exactly what we're doing. This team atmosphere. So I feel like the players should play better now if we start making trades to help see who stays. I agree. There's a lot of opportunity available. Let's see what Schmidt.
As your franchise player and the responsibilities that come with that, does a change in coaching mean a shift in this philosophy? Are you still committed to that being a part of your identity moving forward?
So I also said that you want to build a team that doesn't have to depend on one player as well. And so I don't want to leave that part out and just carve out about Zion. That's not going to change with me. Like, you don't want to build a team that depends on just one player. And so I think what I really emphasize, in getting here is like team. Like, I'm a team first guy. Yes, we have an incredible talent in Zion, but that's not how the team is built. And that's not going to be a factor as we go forward. We're going to continue to be team first. And whoever the next coach is, I'm going to want that coach to believe in the same thing, in team first. And so this, I don't think the question about Zion will apply to this right here. What you're asking. It's as long as I'm here, it's going to be about team first.
Got to pause it there. The move Zion do.
The door is open again. Like I said before, Queen was drafted as when we move Zion, here's our cornerstone player with fears. However, while Zion is here, you got to make it work. But he's clearly like, hey, like, I'm not building this team around just Zion. I'm building this team that when Zion is unavailable, because he will be, how do we look?
Yes.
And that's like I do believe in a sense there was a mandate to trade Z. In some point, like, hey, you got to trade Zion, get him out of here. But I also think Joe did go to bat for Zion. Like, I'm going to make sure he's in shape. He's going to play. And part of it has been right so far. Yeah. Zion ain't been playing, but I think that's because of coaching and all that other stuff. So now we're here. Zion, you got 70 games, bro. Yep. Your contract, first of all, you got guarantees of your contract that you got to play.
Yes.
So
yes.
There we go.
I think the comment itself is kind of like when he's like, I'm saying the team is about team, is like, I'm not, because I still don't think that the comment don't mean like, oh, we moving Z immediately. No. You know what I mean? I don't look at it as like Z not gonna be on this team. I took it as like exactly what you said. One, we're gonna be equipped to play without Z, right? But I think he looked at Z as like a X factor kind of piece. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna get him right when he's here. It should help, but drafting Queen specifically allows you to have a style of play that the center of your team isn't the piece that's missing. Do that make sense? It's like if Queen becomes, and not saying that Queen is a better player than Z, but if the offense is running more around Queen, then it don't matter if Z is there or not, if that makes sense. So then now you essentially you got a piece that's like a wild card X factor that could be a dominant player, but our team is not built like to where if he's gone, everything falls apart. Can't nobody function. We can't run no offense, nothing like that. So I do get the part of what Joe making him see we have options. Yeah. I think Z is gonna start playing harder because if not, now we have Queen in bed as his position. I don't think Z got to worry about like somebody taking his spot or nothing like that. Like Z just too good of a player.
I was about to say that, like, let's not get it twisted. Like the best player on this team still
by
is number
far.
one. He's still the most talented player on this team. He's still averaging 22, 6, and like 5.
Yeah, and realistically, that's with the one bad game that hurt the averages. But before that, it was like 27.
Yeah,
it was like 27, 9, and like 6.
The dude can play basketball. He just has injury problems, and I think that has a lot to do with obviously his body. Like it's just at the end of the day, like it just is what it is. But he's the best player on this team, and we'll go as far as he essentially takes us, because like Queen is not ready yet. Like he's still getting all them rookie lumps and stuff like that. Like
and they should be
this season. Like it's gonna happen. He struggled last night for a little bit, like because
he struggled a lot of the game.
JJ was like, "Hey, we about to make you a focal point, big dog."
Absolutely, bro. Listen, they play well when they play around him.
Yeah,
attack him.
So look, I say this: the last couple games. It's hard when you got about almost 50 points not playing.
Yes.
Like
we'll pull
like that's
Z.
50 points just not on the court.
Yes.
You're not gonna beat most teams with that. So
no. Yeah. It's absolutely a big hindrance. Let's keep going.
Hey Joe, this is Fletcher. I have 2 questions. I'll just ask them at the same time. First, do you have a message for the fans? It seems like apathy is skyrocketing, that I think people feel like it's the same old Zion's hurt and in the frustration with Willie. So if there's a message for the fans that are going to see this. And the second thing is I know the NBA can be kind of crazy. Doc Rivers was on the street and the Bucks hired him in January, and like Chris Finch was an assistant with the Raptors and then the head coach of Minnesota. Is Borrego the head coach for the rest of the year, or could something develop where you find a head coach before then?
Yeah. So in terms of the apathy question, I'm not sure what all has gone on before I got here, Fletcher. I don't really know what's happened. I know that we are not the people that have come in with me. We're not status quo people. We're just not. And that's not to say anything about what's happened in the past, because I don't really know. I just know our approach is not to be status quo. We look at it, we see it, it's not getting better. Okay, we have to make a move. We can't sit on our hands, and we can't sit here and go, well, it's going to get better one day. Like that's just not the way we're going to approach it. And so, in terms of the apathy, the only thing I could say to the fans and media here in New Orleans is that status quo is never going to be acceptable. It's just not. And I'm a matter of fact about it, because it's not like I have to think hard about this. It's just who we are. We're not going to operate like that. Just in terms of Borrego, he's the interim coach here for the rest of the season, unless something changes. I don't know what would change, but our plan is to go forward with James. If something was to change in that, Fletcher, that's the unforeseen. I can't sit here and tell you nothing unforeseen could happen. But when I spoke with James this morning, I said to him, I'd like for you to be the interim coach for the rest of the season. So that's as honest and direct as I can answer the question, Fletcher. And really, that's it. Hopefully, he's here for the rest of the season, and we can get things turned around.
Let me stop right there. I like the non-committal. Listen, hopefully he's here for the rest of the season. I intend on him being here, but like nothing unforeseen has happened. I took that as like, you saw how Doc Rivers got hired mid-season. If I could get my guy, I'm going to get him.
Yeah, because look, let's say the season is lost. Let's say by like All-Star weekend though, like the rookies look good and we're winning. Like you see, like there's a coach out there that's like, nah,
if
I
Mike
want a part
Malone
of this.
hypothetically,
Yeah, let's say Mike Malone looking at this like, nah, I want to coach this. You bring him in now.
Yes.
Let him establish what he needs to establish that season. Get his staff in here during the summer.
Yes.
These dudes are already familiar with how he coach. And you go into the next season ready to play.
Yeah. Now the part that also would serve JB well is even if that is the route that he decides to take, right? If you do well in your time while you're here, I also found the JB interview, so we definitely gonna do that too. Oh, yeah. If JB does a good job, even if they do decide to bring in another coach, he's already put out enough tape of like, oh, when you actually got the opportunity to be a head coach, I saw that team at 2-10 look terrible, and you turned it around and had, you know what I mean? You had them competing. Like, I'm surprised Adrian Griffin ain't got another opportunity, because regardless of whatever you say, he had the Bucks at 30-13 before Doc replaced him.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
What they said, it was like very, very.
It was bad. The locker room stuff was bad. So I understand that, but I'm just saying they still were 30-13 at, you know what I mean?
They also got Giannis.
But Doc wouldn't 30-13 with Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Like,
true.
You had Giannis and Dame and still was struggling. Like, you looked worse. So you can say whatever you want. I'm just saying Adrian Griffin, like, you saw what it looked like, but Borrego specifically can come in and really have an opportunity, even if you're not committed and they decide to go another another direction with the coaching. You can finally say, if I'm Borrego, when I go into my interviews, that team was 2-12, didn't have no identity, didn't look bad, didn't look good, whatever. Imagine if I had some pieces or an opportunity with my staff or whatever, and you put yourself in a position. I think regardless, if he does well, he get a head coaching job next season.
Yeah. There's going to be, I'm sure they got some other, I don't even know what coaches are on the hot seat this year. Maybe Orlando's coach and all that, but
yeah,
they're gonna have some, definitely.
There's always Doug Christie might be a 1 year. You know what I mean? Who knows?
I don't know. He is Sacramento legend for that team.
Sacramento.
Like,
he is lifer.
I think they're gonna give him more. That's a bad roster that he ain't have no control over.
Maybe we'll see. Let's go ahead and finish this. They got 10 minutes left of this.
Hi, Joe. Maddie Kurth with Fox 8 here. Mm-hmm. You know, even through this transitional time, more than ever, you've got a lot of eyes on the Pelicans, especially with the team's partnership with the Gulf Coast Sports and Entertainment Network. So in these next couple games, when fans are tuning in to see this shakeup, what do you anticipate they will see differently? And can you speak to any pressures that the team or anybody on the operation side feels, knowing that more people are watching now?
I could tell you a long story that I had with Aretha Franklin one day, but that's a different story. But I will say this.
Bro, talking about this man shot. Yeah, you know, I could tell you a story with, you know, Aretha Franklin. It's like, no, you name dropping Aretha Franklin in these interviews.
Thanks.
Oh wow.
And it makes sense too, because she's from Detroit. So
yeah, like, you know, let me drop the queen real quick on him.
And Aretha was my neighbor in Detroit, right? And I asked her one time, what if you went out and there was only a handful of people watching? And she said, Joe D, I would give the show of all shows for however many people are watching. I would say the same thing about us. Whether it's a small amount, whether it's a larger amount, doesn't change our approach in how we do business. I don't care if it's 1,000 people or 20,000 people. Our approach is to be all in, to win, dedicated. We're obsessed with this. And so more people watching, awesome. But it really doesn't change how we do business here.
I look forward to hearing that.
That man said, I don't care how many people at them damn games. Y'all can't be going out there getting y'all asses beat. Yep. Because if y'all playing like trash, ain't nobody coming anyway.
Yep.
Like, I'm glad he said that. Like, I don't know. We don't care who that. Like, you got to go out and do your job. Because if you playing like, if you ass, then that's what's like,
bro.
I ain't spending my money to go.
They gonna sell. I guarantee the Warriors game look packed tomorrow.
I'm trying to go. I got my ticket. I'm trying to get off work so I can be in there.
It's gonna be packed tomorrow.
It's
and then like the fact that like you got two, like though, imagine you make this trade to get Queen. The team sucks like they do now, and both Fears and Queen don't look promising at all. Like, just imagine how bad it will look, because now it's like, dang, we already like we're behind. Yeah, we're behind on this rebuild because we missed. But you didn't. You hit.
Yes, you hit
on two.
You hit on both of them.
You hit on both of them, and it's just like, but there's some like fans want a reason to be excited, bro. Like, even if we're not 500, like a playoff like a championship contending team, bro. Like, I'm there.
Yeah, no, listen. Tomorrow, if this team, because Golden State got people like Golden State been slightly struggling too. Steph got to go for
nuclear.
Steph got to go for 50 for them to win games. But imagine if they come out and beat the brakes off Golden State tomorrow, though. Like, people gonna be mad because they'd be like, you should have been fired this dude, right? But if you somehow win that game with no Z, because I don't know if Z and Poole gonna play tomorw anyway. Like
Poole, I don't know if you saw.
They said they evaluated him.
Poole gonna be out another week.
Yeah, I think they probably announced
be back by Denver game at the very least.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna put him in the bags. But like, let's just say you come out and you win Golden State and you play OKC tough, like you don't get blown out against OKC. I think the blender is back. Yep. I think the blender is back though. Like it's the new slogan. We are the boot. So I just you have an opportunity right now to salvage a lot with what's going on.
Full story one day, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a deep story with Aretha. I have to tell you that one day.
Hi, Mr. Dumars. This is Andrew Wellman with KSLA. I have two questions for you. The first one being, what are you kind of hoping to see from Coach Borrego in terms of his taking over leadership with the Pelicans, whether it be the development of your young guys, Queen and Thiers, or just an improvement on the offensive side of the ball? And then kind of building on Mr. Mackel's question earlier, talking about the fans, a lot of fans have been kind of expressing some kind of a sense of hopelessness. The team doesn't have their first round pick next year in a really great draft class. And it was a rough start. You're letting go of Coach Green. What would your message of to be the fans who are kind of just looking for something to kind of hope for and look forward to in the future?
I'll answer that. What was your first question again?
What are you kind of hoping to see change in the terms of the play from Coach Borrego, whether it be the development of your young players or just an improvement on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I'll go back to what I said earlier. We have to establish who we're going to be. We flat out have to establish who we're going to be, whether that's going to be improved offense, whether it's going to be improved defense. But we have to start establishing an identity here in New Orleans more than anything else. We just can't go out and just go up and down and not have an identity. So I think more than anything else, that would be what I would be looking for us to try to establish here. In terms of the I think you're asking about the fans again, and about things going on here. Like, look, I was saying this to Matt Ryan this morning. Like, it's pretty tough to turn it around in 6 months. And so we've been here about 6-7 months. And so this is part of the work. This is part of the heavy lift that takes place. You come in, it's going to be a heavy lift. And along the way, there are going to be some bumps along the way. But like, you can't get, like us anyway, I would say operations. You can't get depleted or down or whatever, discouraged when things don't go as planned. And so that's the hard work that we have to do here. That's what we're going to continue to do here. And we know along the way there may be some bumps and some setbacks, but it really doesn't affect you in the sense that you're going to stop doing what you do to make this a great team, a great organization. And so I would just say that to the fans, like we are as committed and obsessed with this as you can possibly be. And we're gonna do the work to turn it around.
Thank you.
What you think of that?
No, I mean it's facts.
What you're supposed to say?
Yeah, like that. I think that was just like, hey, listen, this team was in hell. I've been here since
Yeah,
April. It's November. I got a lot
yeah,
of work to do. This ain't gonna be no Rome wasn't built in a day. Like
yeah.
it's gonna take some time. We're gonna figure this out and we're gonna be competitive. But first things first, I had to get the coach out. So
Had to get the coach out. Like I got Z in shape. Got to get Z back on the court. We had to get rid of the coach. Like I knew there was some things that we had to do ahead of time. We finally got like you got Z in shape, right? We finally got the coach out. Now let's continue to see. And it just sometimes it take more time because again, I do think the mandate was real. Like you probably could have sped up the process, but you couldn't get rid of the coach from day one. So like it took 12 games. What? Yeah. 2 and 10. Yeah, 12 games to get to this point. Now let's assess where we at from there. So yeah, pretty standard.
Mr. Dumars.
You're welcome.
Yeah, Joe, how early do you guys plan on establishing what your list of candidates will be, you know, the interview process and all of that? And will James be one of the candidates you guys interview to potentially remove the interim tag and make him the head coach?
We haven't even discussed that yet. This morning, it's just James is the interim coach, and we haven't even started talking about any kind of candidate list, anything like that. It's a little bit premature right now to even start talking about other candidates right now. Let's like get our footing right now. We just let the coach go this morning. We just named James as the interim coach. We'll have time to get to that, but today is not that day to do that.
They got candidates.
They absolutely got candidates. Yeah, they absolutely got Troy assets management under control. I think they got candidates for everything, for the asset management. I think they got candidates for the coaching. I think JB is a candidate, but
yeah,
they're doing it now. Like he's the number one candidate, or maybe not number one, but he's a candidate. But I get to look at him now. And the good thing is you don't have like 40 games to assess, because 40 games is kind of tough. Like, because your team will quit on you. Like they already quit on Willie. But like if let's say they at the All-Star break, you know what I mean? If Willie would have coached and they was 5-30 or something like that, like it don't matter who you bring in, like you can't. They don't even have a chance. Like, you know what I mean? So then you really like you put Borrego in a bad situation because you don't even have playoffs to try and put. Like now you could still say, hey, we got a chance to make the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like you could
still 2 games out of the play-in currently.
Exactly. So you still could push for the 6th seed. Like now, like you. So the thing about making the move, even though you're 2-10 and you're bad, you still have an opportunity to sell to the team belief that, hey, we a good team. We showed promise. We competed with, listen, the tough part of the schedule, we didn't have some of that. Like, once we get through a couple of these stretches, we're going to have some of these bad teams or whatever. Let's get ourselves going, and maybe we could make a push for the 6th seed. Them teams up there don't look good.
No.
So the good thing is yes, I do think they have candidates, but you also gave Borrego an opportunity to have enough games to where he's not handicapped by just the sheer idea that like, hey, dog, we ain't playing for nothing this year. Like, ain't nobody making no All-Stars, ain't nobody making no All-NBA. Like Z still can make All-NBA. He ain't missed, like he still could play the 65 games, make like all of your dreams are still available right now.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the plus.
I have another question. This is not Mr. Mackle, but Fletcher. Thank you, Andrew, for calling me Mr. Mackle. Just a quick follow-up here. I know that we talked about when you got hired the word mandates. Will there be a mandate to start clean or play clean, or does James have kind of full authority to do what he wants to do with the roster? Or would you want to see the guys that you drafted to start this rebuild potentially playing more and being out there more?
I'm gonna pause right there because that's a great question. That's that's like the question that I had before Willie was fired, when we knew he was fired. Like, does James Borrego actually have the opportunity to start, bench, or play whoever you want to play? First off, he gonna answer it, but do you believe he actually have the authority to do whatever?
I think if you want to ever get a coach in here that, even if it's not Borrego, you got to give them full autonomy of their roster. Like, you got to let them be able to do what they want to do. And I think Mike Malone, that was one of the reasons why he was fired in Denver. The GM started like, hey, you need to start playing this dude. You need to stop playing Russ. You need to do this. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think that was and I'm glad they asked. So going forward, if what Joe's about to say is true, then depending on what James does with the roster, we can like be critical of James Borrego and like, okay, you have the authority to do whatever, and this is what you're choosing to do. Like, I want to be able to hold him under the gun too.
Yep.
Fletcher, I had that conversation. James and I sat in my office this morning, and I said to him, I'm going to support whatever you want to do. Like, it's your call. I'm not the coach. I'm never going to be the coach. I never want to be the coach. It's your call, James. So however you want to go with this, I'm going to support you 100%. So I made that very clear to him this morning. I'm sure he'll say the same thing when he speaks with you guys. He doesn't have a mandate for me that you have to play this guy or that a minute, nothing, none of that. Do what you want to do. I think it's the only fair way you can evaluate a coach. I don't think you can tell a coach what to do and then evaluate him on whether it works or not. You told him what to do. And so he's got the full authority to do what he wants to do as a head coach.
Hey, Joe, I know you pride yourself in being open and honest, especially with players. Were you able to discuss with players over the summer and, in the early stages of this season on how the season was going? And did any of that feedback play into your decision to make the coaching change?
No, I've lived long enough to know not to go into those conversations. Listen, when you're a player, let me tell you something. It's so it is so granular with players. Tell you what happens. You can get a player to have a great week, and you talk to him, and he is all in on everything, right? Have a tough week the next week, and everything is horrible. So you got to be careful talking to players when it comes to things about the season. You have to sit there and judge. When I talk to players, it's really about, here's, I think, where you can get better. Here's what I see happening. Guys will come up to me and ask me, what do you see? I'll have those conversations with them, just about them improving. But the overall, you really want to stay away from that.
What you think of that?
PR. Like, one thing about Schmidt, like, because he studies this, he takes his job serious. These questions are all very much calculated. He's very asking Joe this. He already know Joe had these conversations with these players. He's asking this because he knows this already, and he wants to see what Joe's going to say.
Yeah.
So he's having questions with these players, like, "Hey, bro, like, what's up? Like, what you think? Like, he's having these. He's not going to say that, but it's definitely there."
Well, it was good, Q. Yeah, I think Joe. So I think Joe has the conversations with the players, right? And you might not make your decision based on what a player says, because I do agree that, like, because if you ask Herb might be like, Willie great. You ask Jose, Willie is guy. You know what I mean? So you only could take it with a grain of salt to a degree, but you absolutely got to ask your players what the hell, like, what's the word with the coach? How is it? And then you make your judgment on your own. But like, to say that you're not having conversations with them about it, that part I don't know, especially this early in the season and in the process.
They had questions. They
absolutely. Let's go ahead and get this over.
Joe, considering the start and whatnot, you've been very clear on your mentality with the team and all that good stuff. But considering obviously next year and not having the first round pick, is there any level kind of concern following the start due to not having the pick for next season?
Your question is what now? Is there a level of concern?
That's funny.
No, we don't have the pick, so there's no sense in me being concerned about it now. It's done, and no, it really isn't. I mean, I can sit there and have a concern all I want, but we still don't have a pick. And so, no, it's not any level of concern. I'm concerned about the guys that we have here. I'm concerned about the guys we drafted and watching them grow and become the players they come. But I'm not sitting here worried about the pick that we don't have.
I think people think like the pick went to like, is this like they talking like the pick got traded for like a player that's just not like the pick was traded for like Jordan Poole or something like that.
Yeah.
No, the pick was literally traded to get another lottery pick.
Yeah.
That turned into Derek Queen, who looks
and he
promising.
hooping. He hooping.
So like again, the process behind like again, if there was any type of protections on this pick, no one's even questioning it.
No,
you know what I mean?
Man,
so it is what it is. But yeah, he was like, dog, I made the trade. It is what it is.
F them picks. F them picks, boy. Care nothing about no pick. You like Derek Queen playing, don't you?
Yep.
You've been enjoying what he looked like at the game. All right then.
That's how he should have answered it. He was like, "What do you think about Derek Queen?" He's looking fantastic. All right then.
Yeah, bet that pick. Care nothing about no picks.
Hey Joe, it's Brett Martell with AP.
Yep.
Just two real quick ones here. First is, and I know it's tough when you come in new to a situation that's evolving. Could you just reflect on why you thought over the offseason it was the right decision to at least start the season with Willie? And then the second is when you say identity, obviously that's a term that's open to interpretation. And so could you maybe give some examples of why you saw a lack of identity, I guess, in the first 12 games?
First question is why Willie, was it?
Yeah, why during the offseason did you decide that it was the right choice to start the season with Willie?
I'd seen some of the Pelicans when they were fully healthy a few years ago, and it seemed that Willie was doing a good job. I thought it was only fair to give him an opportunity going forward. As I said to Willie when I got here, I was like, Willie, look, I do not have someone else in the wings waiting. You're the guy that I'm committing to do this. I'm all in with you, and let's move forward and try to like turn this thing around into something great. And so it was just as simple as he's been here, give him a chance to get a fresh start with me and go forward and build. In terms of the identity, I'll repeat it again. I was looking for a team to compete hard every night. And so we start losing the same way over and over again.
Yes.
And so that's not improvement. And so more so than identity, that was really the one thing that I talked to the coaching staff about is that, guys, we have to establish that we're going to play hard every night. Before you can become anything in this league, you have to establish that first as a team. And so it was that judgment more than identity, more than the offense, more than the defense, the one-loss record. It's establishing that we are going to be a team that plays hard every night. And that's still what I'm looking for right now. And I had that conversation with James this morning.
I think this is the last one we're gonna do, and then we're gonna go to the Borrego interview. Not a Borrego interview. I ain't listened to none of it. You heard any of it yet?
No, I think it came out while we was on the pod.
Yeah, so I got it pulled up, ready to go, and like, no, Joe knew what time it was. The biggest thing that he told Willie was like, "No, listen, you ain't gotta win. You just gotta compete. And y'all was getting blown out and losing the same way every time.
Yep.
Every time. So like this cannot be the way we go about doing this. And I think that's pretty much what finished Willie Green. It's just that
absolutely
simple. Yeah.
Absolutely. It really is that like it's not like it, bro. I really don't want you here. They want you here, so you better do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Otherwise
I'm gonna give you an opportunity, though. And like Willie just did. Willie had an opportunity and did not step up to the plate with what was going on with that. So that's pretty much I'm gonna go ahead and cut that. What do you think about just overall of your interview?
I mean, he says a lot. Obviously, like at the end of the day, it's a business, like PR wise, but I think he's stuck on like the identity part throughout the entire interview, right? The full 20-minute interview, he was like, identity, identity, identity. I think he really believes that. Like,
yes,
when he played basketball, the
his
Pistons
team
were
was
the bad boys.
absolutely.
They had a clear identity. We're going to
Yep.
you up on this court.
Yep.
We're going to damage you on this court.
Yep.
When he built the Pistons,
The new Pistons,
they played defense.
mm-hmm.
Like, we're going to rough you up on this court. They were like a variation of the bad boys. You know
And they had even their offense was like, they had a way that they played their offense too. It was like very methodical. We're gonna go through rip, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
they had a stretch big with Rashid and stuff like that. So it's like,
yeah,
they had a variation of it. Now, obviously, NBA is different. You can't play basketball like that anymore.
Right.
But
this new coaches, you better be able to develop something.
And to be honest with you, if your team is good, you're allowed to get away with things the rest of the league doesn't get away with. So you're able to do certain things. The Lakers got the ultimate whistle.
Yes.
Like Austin Reeves, whatever, he's getting a foul call.
Listen, I just accept it at this point regarding the Lakers and they fouls and stuff like that.
OKC, Lou Dort, Case and Wallace, dog, they legit be fouling all game.
Every play.
And it's not being called because the team is good. So now this identity has been established.
And they know that that's kind of what they do regardless. So they just, like Dylan Brooks, Draymond, all of those players, once you establish what you are, like the Pacers, if you are offense, like the Pacers being a high-flying offensive team, like even the offensive teams, if you known for that, bro, like you get more calls, you get more leeway to whatever it is you decide to establish. Like if you're a heavy team like that plays in the paint a lot, you typically get more foul calls and stuff like that because people know, hey, bro, they attack the paint. That's just kind of what they do. Like because we don't have none of that, it's a quick problem. Let's go through some of these comments real quick, and then we'll start the JB interview. Here's one. When will the first winning streak start? Can you see us winning 5 in a row at any part in the schedule? Absolutely.
There's like I think it's either October or February where it's like a very solid schedule. They could pop off like 9 of 10. You know what I mean? Like it's like that easy. So absolutely.
And then we when we went through the schedule, like right now was one of the tough times that like
November was always the hardest part.
November was the toughest part of the schedule. That's why the fast start, like you had opportunity in the beginning of the season to get off to the fast start for this stretch that we in right now, because after this it's about to soften up a little bit, and you had opportunities to win games. You had a chance to win both Spurs games. You cannot get blown out by Phoenix. Like you had the Portland game, but you had opportunities to win the Portland game if you don't play Looney those 10 minutes. You know what I mean? Like it was certain games you had opportunities to win where you're not in this situation. So there's definitely points where you can see them winning.
Been announced Zion is questionable for tomorrow.
That's not surprising. Oh, question. That's you think he plays?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he plays. Give him another day to be like, oh, all right, yeah, bet. Cool. Can Queen play center? I don't think he can play center, but I think I play him at the 5. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think he's
there's not that many dominant bigs he got to worry about. Like he got Joker, Zubac. Like you got some bigs in there that he got to, but he guards them well. So
I'm playing him at the 5 anyway.
Spot minutes.
Yeah, I'm playing him at the 5. If we're not playing 2 bigs, I'm playing him at the 5. Point Zion and Queen. I think you could just run it however you need to run it.
Yeah.
I think you run it however you need to run it in the last one. Since I know that's Looney, since Looney and Jordan are used to studs on the court, they sure as hell better be tutoring our bigs. That's literally what they would play. They would brought in here for.
Looney getting minutes.
Yeah, no, I think you're talking about DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, but he put Mooney. I know he meant Looney, but like Looney getting minutes. Like
Looney.
You need to be on the edge of the bench with DJ and
Herb Jones been getting a bad whistle.
Yes.
Yeah, Herb always gets a bad whistle.
Yeah.
But I think that's more about the Pelicans than Herb, to be honest.
It is.
And Herb's bad whistle is because I don't think he's physically imposing enough to get away with some of the stuff that like Dort gets away with because he's just a stronger player. Like Herb is not like solid enough to where he like stopping people from moving and stuff
if
like
Herb
that.
was built like Sadiq Bey with Herb's defense, they wouldn't call nothing.
Absolutely not. This just, bro, you weak. Like
Yep.
the offensive player, like you just weak. So I absolutely agree with that. Willie should have been fired with a healthy the 1 or 2 years. Yep. But you know, that's just kind of how it goes. Yep. The lineup with Jose Fierce got Willie fired. No, there's been multiple lineups.
It's Jose. It's the Hawk in the Looney minutes.
Yeah. It's just certain things that he should not have been allowed to do.
Funny thing is, Hawk is like a plus player when he on the court with Zion. It's not that funny. It's like not shocking.
Yeah.
That's who he needs to be tied to.
Yeah, it's certain players that Hawk can play on the court with. That's gonna like. I think he actually like on the court with Queen is gonna be. This is facts. Willie got Willie fired because he had all the opportunity in the world. Yep. But I think like Hawk is gonna have some opportunities with Borrego, to be able to kind of be used a little bit more proud. And I think that's for more people on the roster. You know what I mean? Not just Hawk. But let's go ahead and get into this. Now, listen, this is the first time I'm hearing this. I don't know nothing about what he's about to say. And let's roll with that. Like, look, I'm scrolling through my Twitter as we watch some of this. They showing like the clips of like JB talking to Z at practice and whatnot. Hey, you better be ready. We going to you, big man. We going to you. But let's see.
Tough day.
Whoa, can you hear that? Was you able to hear that?
The Pelicans mic's always terrible, bro. Like you could never hear the question. You could just always hear them answering.
That thing was playing like it felt like it was playing in my ear.
Tough day. You know.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
I've sat in that seat. I've been fired. It's Willie believed in me, trusted me, brought me in. It's a tough day to see a friend of yours.
Willie didn't bring him in, by the way.
That helped you. That helped this program.
That's a interesting thought because I know a lot of people said that Willie, because they worked together before, Willie wanted Borrego as the offensive guy. That is not true. They said Willie did not want to bring Borrego in at all.
Yeah.
So just putting that out there.
Be let go. So it's a tough day. I mean, we all own it. It's not just on him. This is on everybody. Unfortunately, in this business, it tends to fall on the head coach in every profession, any sports profession. So, but now it's the job to move this group forward, and I love this group. I love this city, and we got to rally the troops and get our.
Not to cut it off. I believe him when he say that, to be honest, though, because
he's been here before.
He was here before. I love the group. He been here before, and I do think he looks at the roster and was like, "Dog, did you see what I had at Charlotte? Imagine what I could do with some of these pieces." You know what I mean? So like, I
absolutely with LaMelo all day.
Yeah, like dog, I believe him when he says like, "I love the roster, I love the group," because I think an offensive coach looks at the roster and is like, "Bro, there's a lot that I think you can do with this team."
Yep.
Our heads up, our spirits up, and move forward.
What's your message to the team? What's your first message to the team when you spoke to them today?
Get their heads up, get their spirits up. There's a lot of basketball to be played here. There's not 20 games. A lot of these positions, like you never know when you're going to take over, or where in the season this is going to happen. We have 70 games to go, basically a whole season. So there's a lot of basketball. Get their heads up, spirits right. Find the confidence.
Confidence.
Like we own this. We got to be better. All of us, including me. Like we got to be better in our leadership, in our play on the court, our focus. That's our job right now. So, but we have time to improve. There's plenty of time in this basketball season. We've had the toughest stretch, I think, in the NBA so far. It doesn't get any easier. You look at these next three, it doesn't get any easier. So we got our work cut out for us, but there's a lot of basketball. We want to build an identity. Like we can clearly see on the floor right now, who are we? That's what we have to identify, and it's not going to happen overnight. Like tomorrow night's going to be some magic wand. I wave, and we have this magic identity. It's going to take. It's a process. It's day by day. It's our habit work, how we communicate, how we work on the floor. Obviously, it starts with me and giving clarity and direction.
Clarity and
So I've
direction.
met with players. I don't have all the answers for them right now, but I've tried to share as much as I can with them, where they stand, where I'm at, and how I see this team moving forward.
Where are you?
What do you think of that so far? Just before, because he seemed like he's about to address it, but like when you hear that, what do you think?
Just back to like reiterating with him and what Joe Dumars said, like establishing identity. He was like, bro, like, and like we said, like, bro, we got the whole season still left. You know what I mean? Like, no, don't like. I'm not saying we about to go in there and win tomorrow. We got a tough schedule ahead, but best be damn sure the team gonna look different. Like I know that's gonna happen. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm gonna still that confidence in them. And like he said, he met with every player individually. So like that's what you gotta do, bro. Like
I think he's been around and had ideas and thoughts about how he would do it and what he would do, to where it's kind of like, dog, when the second I get the opportunity, like just know the turn, like I plan on doing it a little differently. At least that's how, like, listening to him, that's kind of what I took from him. And we talked about how when he was let go, when Willie was let go, like in certain parts of the season where the team don't have hope, it's like, hey, bro, look, get your spirits up, because we got a season left. We got a lot that we could accomplish. So I think that's the biggest benefit to him and the team.
Yep.
That you want this team. Well, I think it's an identity that really resembles our community. You know, it's resilient, it's tough, it has pride, it's aggressive. And I think identity-wise, it starts there, just an overall physical, aggressive group that plays with force, that plays together. I'm a big believer in playing together, sharing the ball, moving the ball. You know, last time I was in the seat, my team led the NBA in assists. I believe in trusting it, sharing it. I grew up under the San Antonio Spurs, where people moved the ball, shared the ball, and trusted it. That's what I want to see. But at its core, we've got to be a more resilient, tough, physical group, period. Whatever that looks like. X's and O's we could talk about all day. At the end of the day, this group's got to find an identity that's built around competitive spirit, that can play with great force every single night. We never drop the sword. When we're down 10, down 20, we don't let go of the rope. We keep fighting. We got to have that spirit. We got to find that. And what I will say is there's a group of men in that locker room that are capable of doing this. And that's my challenge. They're a great, wonderful character group, but we got to find that resiliency.
Where do you stand with Queen? I know you will see tomorrow night.
Based on what he said just now, like my biggest thing is that I'm tired of hearing the word force and stuff like that. Like I understand it's the initial press conference and all of that, but like after today, I don't want to hear any more of like the Willie Green talk.
So I've heard Borrego mention force before, even like because when he coached for Willie, if that wasn't last year, the year before, he's like, you got to play with violence and force. And like, I think that's just him. I don't even think that's Willie Green. I think that's him saying.
He said like speed and velocity or something like that.
Yeah, like I
like
think that's when he say play with force. I actually think that's him. I think Willie Green say it, but that's not Willie though. Like your team doesn't play with force. Like they're boring. I think that's Borrego saying that and Willie taking that. I think that and listening to that, like he made sure it's known, like, hey dog, when I coached in Charlotte, my team led the league in assists. The ball gonna move, bro. I'm not playing this like you all this dribbling. You gonna come sit next to me. Yeah. I had Devontae Graham as we said, as most improved player, 18-6. He $50 million because of me.
Yeah. The ISO shit did. Not that you can't get to it sometimes, but though, we're gonna be offensive, ball movement, player movement.
To be honest with you, I see why like he had issues with LaMelo Ball.
Yeah,
like, that's
LaMelo out there.
Melo out there going Spurs, bro. He came from the Spurs. Like Pop, the way LaMelo played, Pop wouldn't go for that.
No, yeah, buddy. Oh, let me ask you this, because Z style, like, matter of fact, let's keep listening, and then I'm gonna ask, because I kind of want to ask about like Z style of play, but honestly, I don't know what Z style of play is or would be, because based on what he's already had, like, you know what I mean. I think Z could play a multiple styles, a multitude of ways if you're put in position to play. I think all great players could do that, like, or can do that.
These 2 best years he had offensive coaches.
Yeah. So I'm just of the mindset that Zeke can play on or off the ball and like don't have to fully ISO. But let's keep going.
Is he potentially going to start? Will you make changes to the lineup that potentially look different than what we've seen in the first couple of weeks?
I'm certainly open to it. Yeah, I think everything's on the table right now. Obviously, he's played better than I expected. I can only speak for myself right now. I did not expect him to come out and have this type of impact, which is a breath of fresh air for our program, our organization, our community. I see a lot of value in him. So could he potentially start? Yes. Could he come off the bench? Yes. I don't have those answers right now. We'll see what tomorrow looks like. It's just a very fluid situation right now. We got a lot of pieces. I think my biggest challenge right now is how to figure out this rotation. Who plays well together? You got Zion potentially coming back. You got Queen in the mix. You're starting a rookie point guard. What does that look like? You know, you have the emergence of Trey Murphy. You know, Jose's still there. Like, there's a lot of moving pieces here, and we have a number of bigs that can play. We have 3 young bigs that can play, plus Looney and DeAndre Jordan. There's a lot that I got to figure out here. But what I'll say is there's tools there to play with. Now I got to figure that out.
How much do you kind of lean on this past experience, having been in this position before?
Tremendous amount.
Anything interesting there?
No, I mean, like, he's gonna say, like,
you're gonna be politically correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna be politically correct. Even though I hate it, like, I want him to come up and be like, yeah, I'm gonna shake the star lineup up. Like, I want a coach that's like that, but I get like
you can't do it.
Optics wise. But notice he was like, we got 3 bigs that we got 3 bigs that can play. He mentioned DJ and Looney last.
Like, I think respectfully, he was like, I got 3 young bigs that we gonna go with, and he was like, and you know, you gotta mention your vets, you know, and Looney and DeAndre.
No, how can, even if you don't like start Queen, which is crazy, but even if you don't start him, how can you watch Carlo and Ease catch all these lobs?
Yes.
All Carlo's points of like dunks.
Yes. And he hit some threes.
And he hit 3.
He hit some threes.
And you'd be like, give me Kevon Looney.
5 minutes a game for like what? Carlo, 9 minutes a game.
Carlos looked good every time he came in. So
every minute. Yeah.
We'll see, bro. Like but yeah.
I understand the coach talk. I'm interested to more than anything. I think I'm interested to see what happens with Fizz when Poole comes back. Like, because I think right now you can still start him. Like, I don't think you're hurting by starting him right now because JP not there. Like, who you benching him for? Yep. You get what I'm saying? But when Poole gets back, then I'm interested to see, you know, what happens with Fizz.
You know, tremendous amount. You know, I sat in that seat for 4 years, learned a lot the last, what is this, how long have I been out? 3, 4? 4 years now, you know. I've learned, I've grown a lot, you know. I'm very comfortable with who I am, what I stand for as a coach. I've looked back on things that I did well in Charlotte, things that we could have done better. You own it and you get better. So I feel comfortable in this role. Taking over at this time, it's just part of the, you know, not ideal, but I can lean on my past experiences for sure.
How soon are you hoping to get Z back, and what's your vision for how you want to get the most out of him?
Real quickly about that, like, I think that's also like a thing that's kind of going like unsaid, is that most coaches, right? It's very rare that a lot of coaches are successful their first time around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it takes being a coach, getting fired, assessing, and then your second time around, you typically have more success, especially based on the rosters that you have. Like, he didn't have no great roster in Charlotte.
That's what I was about to say. Not just that, like, you got to look at, like, when these league like, was different. If you're getting hired to a job, it means the team is performing poorly.
Absolutely.
Which means the roster is probably not that great. Which means you're going into a bad situation. And if these players have been under a coach for so long, they've already established this loser mentality. Luckily for the Pelicans, they've had 3 seasons where they've had some success in there, where they weren't just losing.
God awful.
You know what I mean? You won 49 games. You won 42 games. You made the playoffs. You made the playoffs twice and the play-in, 3 times. Like, so you've had some success in there, and it hasn't just been just 5 years of under 500 basketball. So, but that makes
agree.
but so you got all these other new coaches. Joe Mazzulla took over a team that had just went to the finals.
Yep.
Mitch Johnson took over the Spurs with Wemby coming to himself. Adelman took over Joker. Like, these coaches took over spots where you pretty much, hey, bro, you could be a terrible coach.
The ship already
it's already a machine. So like, it's much difficult to take over like a bunch of losers.
Yeah,
like it is.
Yeah. I think JB, and this is why I kind of want to. I'm glad he's getting the opportunity with so many games left, because I think the kind of coach he was before, I thought already was a good coach, right? He has the opportunity to look kind of like how so Kenny Atkinson, right? When Kenny was the coach of Brooklyn, like, you saw the potential in Brooklyn, right? Remember, there was like an up and coming team. Like, you had I think Jared Allen and
they went to the playoffs or the play-in?
Playoffs. They went to the playoffs. And then he got fired, right? Steve Nash, and like was away for similarly to like the same time that JB kind of been away. He was a assistant. I think he was an assistant in Golden State or something like that for a while, and then got the opportunity with Cleveland now, and you see like the improvement in his coaching and his game and how Cleveland looked. If Borrego has improved from where he was to now, right? Like, you absolutely could see a team that has talent and a lot of pieces. If Borrego is a quality good, like a really good coach, and shows to be a really good coach, like, you're in a position to where you really could turn this around and still compete, because you're just not depleted. Like, you have a lot and he mentioned it when he was talking about the roster, like, dog, that's a lot of really good pieces that a good coach is sitting there like, man, like, I think I could do something. I could do something with this.
Yep. The man was fired in Charlotte after leading them to their first like above 500 season.
Yeah, and he made the play. They in the play-in. They was in the play-in at the time.
Yeah.
They ain't been close since then.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, number one, we need Z to be healthy, right? Ultimately, we know that when he's on the floor, good things happen. So the goal is to get him back on the floor as soon as possible. I mean, we can't rush him back. I don't know when that's going to be, but I think it's sooner rather than later. It looks like to me. You know, I don't have those answers today, but
looks like to me.
And then, you know, utilizing him within this offense, I think is going to be fun and creative for me. You know, I get my hands on him and just see how to utilize him in many different ways. He's a very unique player, very unique. There's nothing, I don't know, maybe I could give you one or two other examples of a Z in this league, but, you know, moving him around the chessboard, that's my job.
Was he able to go through practice today? What about Jordan Poole? Was he able to do anything with it?
Poole was light today. Not much. I mean, we just didn't do a whole lot. We have a back-to-back coming. We talked a lot today. We did a little bit of walkthrough, so there wasn't a lot of activity on the floor. I think Poole did a little bit, and you know, Z was out there as well. But we don't have an update for tomorrow. So.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Sure.
You were talking about that identity and you know, leading the league in assists and whatnot those few years ago. How confident are you when you look at this roster that they can kind of achieve?
Oh, they can do that. They can do that, absolutely. I mean, this group, this is a very unselfish group. It's just it's about what we stand for and our standards at the end of the day. We got to lean into what we're going to stand for, what we're going to look like, and I've got to hold them accountable to that. Every one of them, from the top, you know, player on our team to, you know, the rookies to the 15th, 16th, 17th man. Like, there's got to be a standard of this is who we are, this is what we stand for, hold them accountable to that. Again, my last team, we were playing a bunch of young guys, rookies, and we got them to buy into it. But it's chipping away at it, just like anything in life. You just got to chip away every day at it, habit work, this is our standard. When they're not doing it, when I'm not doing it, we hold ourselves to a higher standard and hold each other accountable to that. And that's truly where leadership comes in. This is a leadership position I'm in. And I've got to be out front, leading this group, demanding it, celebrating it, rewarding it, and moving this group forward.
You mentioned the character of this team.
Anything you find anything interesting in there?
No, I mean, like it's a lot of like these type of interviews is always a bunch of coach speak, right?
Mhm.
So like again, it's back to the identity part of it.
Mhm.
Again, I'm really just ready to see it. Like,
Yes.
how does that look? I think you're gonna see minimal changes tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
just so he could get a feel. Because again, like he's probably gonna come in there and do a whole bunch of different rotations.
Yeah.
They're not used to. They're
Yeah.
gonna have to get used to, hooping with each other and stuff
Playing
like
different.
that. It's
Yeah.
unfortunate it's a back to back, so it's like I gotta, you know what I mean? However,
I think that's a good thing, to be honest, because you got
yeah,
a back to back against Golden State and then the best team in the league. But I think like you don't have no time off, like to I don't want to say like no time to assess, but you get like 2 games to just real quick be like, okay, like we get like live fire to see what work, as opposed to, if you had like a game and then you got a couple days, then another game, you got to sit on it for, you know what I mean, a little bit longer to try and prepare, as opposed to like, I got 2 games right out the gate to just try, and then see, okay, maybe this is working, maybe that's not. Like, if you come out with a starting lineup and it don't work, then you can immediately go to a different starting lineup of what looked good, or you know what I mean? Like you just right out the gate can try things and see how it goes, as opposed to having too much time to sit and wait.
True. I'm just ready to see like he brought up, they brought up the part with the assist again and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, that's
I want to go look at that Charlotte's roster and see what they had. I know it's LaMelo, like Terry Rozier, and
So that's the part that's crazy about the roster, because I remember looking this up when I was doing the coaching stuff. So when he first got there, that was like Gordon Hayward used to be. They had Kimba initially.
mm-hmm.
They had Kimba, and then in the Kimba season they were solid, right? The Kimba Gordon Hayward time they were okay. Gordon Hayward, if you remember, got hurt a lot during that time.
Yeah.
So like your second, and then they started transitioning because they ended up getting. So in his 4 years, you had like Kimba for like the first 2. Kimba was solid the first year. They tanked the second year, right? They tanked the second year, got LaMelo by year 3, moved off everybody. They brought in Terry from Boston. So then it was LaMelo, Terry the last 2 years. And then the last 2 years, it was they were like trending, and then they made the play-in, and then he got fired.
Yeah,
so
because
like
he got into it with LaMelo.
Yeah, so like if you remember, that's kind of how it worked. When he was initially there, it was like Gordon Hayward, his time. Then they moved off Gordon Hayward, tanked, got LaMelo and Terry, and then Miles Bridges, and then kind of leaned into that, and then Devontae Graham, and then had those for 2 years and then got out. But that's what his 4 years kind of looked like.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and see.
Yeah. And with the tough time starting this year, even the tough year last year, sometimes when you see a team splinter, for you to mention how good the character is that maybe one of the most encouraging things, like trying to turn this around?
No, this group's still together. I don't feel that at all. This is not a splintered group. They're committed to one another. They like one another. They really enjoy being around one another. They're pulling for each other. It's a connected group. So that we do have that behind us. This is a talented group, a talented roster that's together. I'll take my chances with that.
When you're evaluating which pairings work well together, which lineup groups work together, how sensitive are you to the fact that, hey, this is still early in the season, samples might not be where they need to be to act upon versus, okay.
I hate not being able to hit a question, bro.
I know.
Certain pairings on the court together.
I wish we had more data on that. I don't think we have enough yet to say this absolutely works. I'll try to find some consistency in the next, let's call it 5 games, that we look at a sample and say this is working. I don't think we can say after a couple games this is absolutely going to work. I think we got to really look at it in a 5 to 10 game sample.
Throwing everything at the wall, though.
Clear there.
Yep.
Where I can be sensitive is being consistent.
Z and Poole absolutely gonna be back after these 2 games they're about to play.
But I also got to be
For sure.
sensitive to trying stuff that works. If something's not working, move off it, and I'm okay with that. Just adapt Like right now, I just got to adapt and like.
Hold on.
I could probably be clear there. Where I can be sensitive is being consistent in some of those rotations, so they give us an idea down the road what that could look like. But I also got to be sensitive to trying stuff that works. If something's not working, move off it, and I'm okay with that. Just adapt. Like right now, I just got to adapt and try some.
That I had to pause like middle of that, like it play it again. If something's not working, move off it. If something's not working, move off it. I wonder if Looney plays because not plays, but like starts. I wonder what the start lineup gonna look like, and I wonder if Looney plays and or starts because Borrego hasn't had an opportunity to coach the team or anybody. So like, if he starts Looney, I'm not gonna be as mad as if Willie started Looney because one, it's not that I don't think Looney shouldn't be starting. I don't, but you get what I'm saying? It's like I don't know.
He just became the AC, and it's like, dog, we got back-to-back games. Like,
yeah,
I can't like he said today. He said we just did a walkthrough today. Like,
yeah,
I couldn't, you know what I mean? So
right. So I like if Looney were to start, it wouldn't be the same to me as if when Willie was starting Looney. So I'm just kind of giving him a little bit of grace with like the first two games on whatever the starting lineup gonna be. And then like if it's not working, I don't expect him to be like example. Let's say he starts Looney tomorrow, right? And Looney looks like he looked. I do not expect him to start in the second half. Like I think you literally gonna see the lineups moving by halves. And
I can see Looney starting simply because it's Golden State.
I can see that.
And it's personal.
Yeah, I can see that. But I also could see again if you look, a win absolutely won't surprise me. I absolutely could see if by half you don't look or you look like you've been looking. Nah, dog, we're not doing this. You're not doing this.
Different things. Look at different lineups, pairings. This is very new. We're very new into this season. So, but yeah, we'll try, especially the bigs. The bigs got to figure out, like, that's probably where I'm going to lean in most. We have a group of bigs that can play. How do they work together? Zion is so unique.
Two big lineups happening.
You know, I'm sure people have said that the numbers of Zion and Queen, I think, are really good. If I'm not mistaken, that's a number that.
Yeah.
He said, I think people said the numbers of Zion and Queen are good. We're going to have to look into it. You know the numbers.
You know the numbers.
The way you answered this question tells me you're already aware when Zion and Queen are on the court together, it looks
they look
good.
amazing. Yes.
Yeah, they told me. Who told you? Your analytics team, your staff, you listen to them? That's what you're telling me. Come on, man.
No, listen, he already know. Listen, that Queen Z lineup, like that's gonna be like how I've been envisioning what Queen and Z could look like on the court. I know he gotta be like, dog, I could put Zion off ball and still, like what that's gonna do for Trey.
He's joking Aaron Gordon to a lesser extent.
Yes. And you seen he been working with Z on that corner three.
Yeah. Dog, Zion don't miss in practice.
No, listen, dog.
And warm-ups either.
Listen, if Borrego gets Z to start shooting the ball, like I wonder if the coach and play because he shot the three more when Gentry was there. Like it was early, but you know what I mean? He shot a couple of them a game at least.
Yep.
So listen, hey bro, shoot that bill. I wonder if
you gonna have the space. They sag off of him and Queen.
Yeah.
And how true is that? I don't know. I think we're gonna have to find out. We need a bigger sample there. But
you need a bigger sample there.
I know that. I'm sorry. I know that you are unselfish, and you've talked about your team being unselfish. But no matter the circumstances, these opportunities don't come along very often. You've interviewed for Lakers and Cavs and Suns jobs. Do you understand that this is an important moment for you individually?
Well, I'll always remember this day. I'll always remember this moment. And I'm grateful for it too. That I've had a lot of wonderful people help me get to this point. And sometimes you never know if you're going to get back. I've been very close in landing head coaching jobs over the last 3 years, very close. They haven't gone my direction, up to the wire in a number of cases. Disappointment, hurt, whatever that is. And you never know if you're going to be back in this position. So I don't take this lightly. This is a tough day for me. I wish it was under different circumstances. The reality is there's only 30 of these in the world, and I get to do, and lead a team beginning tomorrow. And I'll do that with great gratitude, toughness, resiliency, faith, and lean into these guys and the staff. And I believe in them, and I look forward to the journey with them.
When we came in, you started speaking to a couple guys.
I was doing that?
I think that was you.
That was
I'm
the
not
guys?
sure.
Was that me?
But why do you think that was important for you to kind of have some of that one-on-one time?
Oh, we don't even have enough time. Look, this is all just. I'm going to need a lot more time with them. But the good part is I do know these guys. Like there's a level of trust with them as we stand today with these players. I've been with them now 3 years, so we have some relationship. I think it's just trying to settle their minds a little bit. Like just hear from them. And I think as leaders, that's my job. How are you feeling? I can give them all the answers and what I'm thinking in the world. At the end of the day, it's their minds, their spirits, their confidence, their hope, how they see this thing. I just want to hear from each one of them. That's what I tried to do today in a vacuum of 5 minutes. I probably need a whole dinner and, a couple oysters to figure this out. But we'll do that. We have some time. We only have Steph Curry coming in tomorrow, so we'll figure it out.
What's your thoughts? What you think?
Like to this point, it's like, bro. In his head, he's like, bro, I wish I could have got the whole season.
Yeah.
After the 0-6, give me Charlotte and Dallas to figure it out.
Give me the easy teams. Give me Charlotte, Dallas,
and
Portland, the Spurs. So when I get bro.
Give me those times. So it's like now, y'all let him coach the Lakers, get fired. All the rumors were already there, so you knew this was coming. But it's like, dog, now you plug me in the toughest stretch of the season. We got OKC, Denver, Golden State. So yeah, that's the unfortunate. But it's like, bro, they've been knowing me.
They know what it's about. They probably been wanting this change too. They probably been ready for the change to happen. So why did it take so long? When it's all about relationships. When you know the right people, you know what I mean? It's hard to get removed.
Denver right after this.
That's a tough stretch. Hey, let's go. Throw us in the fire. You want to be in the fire? Here's the fire. Let's go. You got to bring it. So it's got to raise our level for these next 3 games beginning tomorrow night. Tough schedule against 3 very good teams. And what's difficult, I think, you're probably looking at the 3 most unique players in the NBA coming up. Steph is as complicated as we've seen over the last 10, 15 years. Shea's obviously, that team's a juggernaut. And the Joker gets to come in. But we get to put our imprint on these games too. That's why we have to go be the aggressors. We have to find an identity.
That's why I pause right there. Dog, that's what I like to hear. They cool. They got a lot going on for them. That's some of the best players in the league. But y'all got to see us too.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta see us. So I think, I don't know if Z play tomorrow, but by OKC, I think Z might be back. Definitely back for Denver.
Is Golden State tomorrow, OKC Monday?
Yeah.
I'm playing Z tomorrow, dog.
I'm playing him tomorrow too. If
you can sit out against OKC, because that's probably a schedule loss anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm front end of the back to back. Let's go.
Yeah.
And we gonna take, but again, we might listen. We might take because I want to take my shot at OKC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to take my shot at OKC and see what's up. But again, they are good. They're great. They're great. But that's what I'm saying. If you look a certain way against Golden State, take your shot at take your shot at OKC and really see where you at. Because if you competing with them, then I'm looking at everybody else listen, our first 3 games, we had 3 of the tougher teams or 3 of the tougher matchups, and you'll see how it go. But though, if you come out with wins in these games, you looking at the rest of the league, all right, we look like what we supposed, you build a lot of confidence.
Yep.
of resiliency, toughness, aggression, and look, that's what I'm hoping that our fans come out tomorrow and they say, we back this group, we love this group. Now it's our job to go fight.
You've been about your time, obviously with Charlotte as a head coach, but this isn't your first time as an interim head coach as well in Orlando. What did you learn through that experience as an interim coach?
That was a long time ago. I forgot about that time. Where was that? That was Orlando?
Yeah. How can you, for whatever you learned during that stretch, how can you kind of apply that here, maybe taking over in the middle of the season?
I don't remember much about that time. I mean, it was a long time ago. I guess I'll rely more on my Charlotte experience right now, just to lean into that. I have a rhythm as a head coach, my day-to-day, going into, I have a better sense of who I am calling a game offensively. I think that's one of the things that
offensively,
one of my strengths is just calling a game offensively, and I got to do that tomorrow night. Find rhythm with these players. I've done that, so I feel good about that. Putting together a game plan. I'm gonna rely a ton on this coaching staff. What I'll say is this is a very good coaching staff. Willie did a heck of a job putting together a very good coaching staff.
but he ain't use it.
So I'm gonna rely on those guys.
That's a shot in my opinion.
It was.
That's a shot in my opinion. He's like, they did a really good job putting this coaching staff together, but this motherfucker ain't listening to nobody. So yeah, like he's like, so I'm gonna lean into the coaches. I think I do a good job calling a game offensively. You know what I mean? He didn't say nothing about the defense. I'm gonna lean into what I do. I think I call a pretty good game offensively. I think I'm gonna lean into some of our coaches. We've been talking about ideas of what we could do for years now. We finally gonna get an opportunity for everybody to do some of what it is that we've been talking about, and I expect us to look different. That's exactly how I heard that.
Yep.
Especially as we get our feet under us over the next couple games. So you got to trust and lean into your staff right now as well.
Appreciate everybody for tapping into this episode too, man. We almost 3 hours in. Anybody that tapped in, appreciate y'all, bro. Hit the like button, share the page. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate it.
Is that true?
Yeah. So I do a lot of stuff, but anyway, just from your view, I think a lot of people would say, okay, well, how different can it be? He's been here several seasons, part of the staff. But the nature of your job has changed. I mean, your job was to support the head coach and his vision, and now it's different, right? I mean, you have a lot of leeway to kind of.
Well, I think every head coach, if you put anybody in the seat, it's going to have a different feel and flavor. It just is. We're different human beings. We tick differently. We see the game a little bit differently. Everybody would call the game a little bit different. I could give you the same menu, but you're just going to use the menu differently. No matter who it is, whether it's me or the next guy. So the guy that took over, whoever took over for me in Charlotte, I'm sure he called a different game, different look, right? So. Yeah, you got to put your imprint on it. You got to be who you are, and I'm very comfortable with who I am. I think that's what our guys understand. I know who I am. I know what I stand for, and now I just got to lean into these guys. So, but we're all going to have a different flavor. Every head coach, and now it's my opportunity to put my own stamp on it.
Kings, have you had any consideration?
The boy said it will not look like Willie.
It will not look like Willie.
Just know that. I don't know. Like, I can't tell you the outcome, but just know it will not look the same.
We are absolutely gonna play different. Every head coach is, got their own flavor where they use. I could give you the menu. Everybody gonna use it different. Like, I like the pieces. This shit will not look dumb. He said offensive. I call a good offensive game. Like verbatim, I call a good offensive game.
Yep.
I ain't thinking about the defense right now, though.
I lean on my coaches. I lean on my assistants.
Yes.
For defense.
Yes. Y'all can fix that. I'm worried about the rotations. Everything is thought about from an offensive standpoint. I call a good offensive game. That is what we gonna do. Willie used his recipe for that. I'm not doing that. Yep. It's gonna look different. Like, that's exactly what I took that as. It's gonna look different. Just know that.
Yep.
You're gonna replace your old position on the bench. I'm sure you probably haven't thought about think about that.
Hey, let me put that on my list too. Let's put that on my list. Patty, can we put that on the list?
Like, also, it feel, and I know it's early, right? He don't have no wins, no losses, nothing like that. But technically, he 2-0 as the head coach for the team. But don't it just feel his energy in interviews is different than Willie's, like from day
He
one?
be happy as hell. Even like, cause like he do all like the halftime interviews and stuff like that. He be extra happy. Like
I just think his from even when Willie got here from day one, his demeanor in interviews felt like
he's boring, bro.
But he felt he felt like everything, like he got like a defensive like aura about him. Like every question he's like answering it kind of like, well, you gotta do whatever. Like JB like presence in the interview seems a little more like not as standoffish or not as you know what I mean?
I also think that just comes from like the experience. Like they not that much further in age. I mean, I think he's like 6 years older than Willie, maybe. But at the same time, like
he's been coaching a lot
he's been
longer.
coaching for like 20 years. Like I think when he was with the Spurs, it was like 2003 to
we
2010. You got 20 years of experience. Like Willie was an assistant coach for like 3 years before he got this Pelicans job. Like so it's just
that's
like,
that's actually a very good good point. Like
Willie did 2 years in Golden State, I think a year or two in Phoenix, and then he was here. Like though you've been an assistant coach for like 3 years.
That's very true.
So
that's very true. Though what were we doing? We wasted a lot of time. Oh, my gosh, though. My gosh, I don't want to think about it. But that point, that is also again, like he had the Spurs time, the Orlando time, the head coach in Charlotte time. It's like I said,
the Hornets time.
The Hornets, yes, bro. Like the it's a lot of experience that's coming in this, and this is only his second opportunity. I really could see a situation where, like, if he is what people think he is, he wins he could keep this job. Like, it's good enough to keep this job. Because I think the talent is still, like, the talent will allow him to keep this job.
It's also very much a New Orleans thing to do, to just hire what's already here, because that's what they're used to. You saw with Dennis Allen, and you could see it with Borrego.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Replace yourself. Replace yourself. I don't know. We haven't, Joe and I haven't really talked to the staff yet. I don't know if there's going to be anything, but what I'll go back to is I believe in the staff, and I know these guys. I trust them.
Ask him, is he bringing in somebody? Are you bringing in somebody?
Even more.
I would if I could, probably, but I don't know yet.
It's not just the players. If we got a staff that's fully committed, aligned, pushing this group forward, our players are only going to be better for that. So that's my job, and I believe in that group.
David, do you have a message to the fans?
No, don't give up. Don't give up. We just got started. You have a beautiful group of players and individuals that care about this community, this city, and we want to reflect that. As I said earlier, we want our identity to be built on what this city represents. I think maybe all of us here would have a different representation of what that looks like, but at my core, I see this as a resilient community, tough, right? Pride, energy. They show up every day, they do their job, and I think that's what I'm looking for in our players, and we want to reflect that for our community. That's who they are. And my hope is that they show up and pack that thing out tomorrow night. Let's get after this thing, buy into these guys, let's build it together, and ultimately, if we have the community behind us, it only strengthens who we are as a team when you have that buy-in, that belief. Now it's our job to make them believe. Ultimately, we got to do that. That's our job.
Can you trade reference?
Thought real quick. Go ahead.
No, I was going to just say, like, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, even if we don't win, like, look good. Give us something to cheer for. If we lose by 2 points tomorrow, but it's like, hey, the Pelicans got something.
They fought. Yeah, they fought, boy.
Take that. Don't lose by 30. We get down double digits almost every game.
And I don't even mind you getting down. I don't mind you getting down because, you know what I mean? In game, like, like if he was trying some stuff and trying to, you know what I mean, trying to figure some things out, and you like got down or something like that, like I think you get a little bit of the grace with that. At the same time, though, like I think I do think people have been wanting change so much to where, when we talked about this earlier, that people are going to show up ready to go to believe. You remember when, you know what it reminds you of, when Dan Rizzi took over that game for the Saints. Was his first game against the Falcons or whatever?
Yep.
I think, and like you should not have won that game, but that team was ready to go. And you knew Rizzi ain't have no chance of being the head coach. This was a special teams coach. James Borrego has a legit opportunity to be a head coach. Like,
and he got 70 games compared to like 6.
Yes. And so you're in a much better situation to where, though, I think the fans, I think, are going to show up to see what it looked like and going to be loud, just simply on the strength of Willie not there.
Yes.
Simply on the strength of Willie not
there. They're going
to
announce him tomorrow.
Yeah, they're going to announce him. Yeah, they're going to announce him. Oh, absolutely. And watch the cheers. Watch, though. It's going to be lit in that bit tomorrow. I got to figure out a way to get there.
You have 2 stints with San Antonio, and obviously coming from Pop's tree. I know obviously he dealt with health issues. Do you talk to him? Will you text him? Or is that just kind of, you've already learned from him, or do you think he'll reach out to you?
I'll always lean on Pop. You know, I wouldn't be standing here without him. And I go back to the gratitude piece for me. Think about the fortune I've had for my first run as a professional to be in San Antonio with Greg Popovich, you know. And he's one of those, there's probably 5 or 6 people I'll talk to today, and he's one of them. Just lean on his advice. And sometimes it's a one-liner. Sometimes I get 5 minutes, and, you know, sometimes it's a dinner. I don't know what today will be. But, you know, he's someone that I've always leaned on for advice and wisdom, and I still carry with that, you know, with me today. I'll leave that to Pop. You know, I don't go there, and what is going on in our world today? I don't know. There's a lot. Maybe you could update me on what's going on. I think these next couple months I'm going to lose even more sense of reality, but. It's important for me to get to our players too. I like our players being tapped into the world, and we learn together. I think that's one thing, you know, you'll learn from me is I just try to be more worldly, and I learned that from Pop. You know, it's got to be more than just basketball. It's got to be more about who are we, you know, how does each one of us tick, what's going on in the world, how do we fit in this community? You know, where do we fit in all this? Because there's a bigger purpose to all this. Obviously, we want to win. You know, that's the goal. You have to, it's a result-driven business, but at its core, like, are we impacting lives? What are we doing for the community? And I think just having that perspective on the world is something that I've really learned from Pop. I probably didn't.
Not that I don't care about that, though, but just win games first.
Basically.
I don't care about none of that right now, though. I don't care about your impact on the world right now, bro. Respectfully. I get it. And I understand, like, sometimes you got to think bigger than the game. Yes, but focus, tunnel vision, game, win, be better, produce. Care nothing about the world stuff right now.
Hey, bro, this is your job interview.
Simple Absolutely. Yes. You got 70 games.
No, I won't say. I'll leave it there. We've had a lot of good meals together. And I'll say this, this is one of Pop's favorite cities to dine.
You like Clancy's, right?
Clancy's. Oh, were you guys there stalking him?
Yeah, he's told us that's where he goes.
Oh, I don't know. I thought I saw you there. One night, you know?
Joking and
whatnot. I saw you there. Give me another restaurant. Give me Clancy's. Another one.
I'm about to cut his interview. If we like.
Andrews Palace. Got to get there. I'm sorry, you've had a question. Yeah. Don't let these other guys. These two are just. Let me get out of the way.
Bro, he is so comfortable.
Absolutely.
How much do you think you could change the rest of the season moving into a higher level?
How could I change this season? Oh, we're going to try like hell, but absolutely we can. No doubt. There's plenty of time. It's not ideal because, you know, the situation.
I would have liked an off season.
This group can definitely move forward. There's some real foundational pieces, character pieces, talent in the house. Now we got to put it all together on the fly. It's a little bit, you know, we're going to have to figure this out on the fly, but there's no doubt this season can turn. I'm optimistic. That's how I live my life, and that's how I'm going to roll. Like, we can do this, but we got to do it together, and we got to do it with the pride that this city represents, and that aggression, that resiliency we talked about. We got to start from day one having that, and I wish I could correct it overnight or wherever we're at. This is just going to be day-by-day process, and look, a month from now, we could be looking in a very different situation, no doubt.
That dude confident, dog. He confident. I read that as I wish they'd have fired him in the off season, so I could have got us off and running.
We're doing this on the fly, but
just
stay tuned. Give me the Christmas.
Give me a month. That's basically what he was like. In a month, I think we could be looking at something completely different. So, like, I think he look at it and like, no, I'm about to kill. Yeah. Like, I think he firmly believe I got Zeke coming back. I got Poole. I think he feel like, oh yeah, we about to make shit, about to make it shit.
Yep.
First 7 games for the injury, kind of trying to find a role. What's your vision for getting the other side?
Yeah, look, I'm trying to figure, again, I think JP's one of those guys we got to figure out how to best utilize him on a good team. You know, whether he's a lead guard with the ball in his hands, is he off ball? I think he can do both. You know, he's a weapon for us. So ultimately, he's a weapon that can come off the bench or start and bring us 20, 25 points a night. That's hard to find in this league. So I'm going to lean into that, challenge him defensively, and pull the most out of him. And I think that's one of the things that I probably taking most pride in my time as a head coach is maximizing players' careers. And you can, I'm not going to sit here and go through that right now. You know, if you'd like to, you can do that. But you know, when you look at when you have a chance to coach a talent like that, did I maximize who he was as a player? Did I pull the most out of him? You're not going to do that for every player. I know that, but are you doing that for the majority of your players? And Poole's one of those guys that excites me to do that with.
No, I read. You think it was his idea for Poole to come off the bench?
No.
Okay.
This is absolutely an ego trip with Willie.
Okay. We on the same page, because I know he mentioned the off the bench stuff, and I don't know if that's necessarily like because he liked what Fears is doing or whatever. Go ahead.
I think Poole's going to remain coming off the bench.
The rest, like, you think so?
Yes. I think that how good Fears is playing lately, even the 3-point, like I said, though, I think the last 3 games,
a little better.
He's shooting like 40% from 3. And you can see it was never really a worry if Fears is going to be able to shoot the 3 ball in me. Like, because he got a nice shot and he made free throws.
Yeah.
He had 8 steals last night, bro. Like, he's averaging like 16, 4, and like 2 right now in the last couple of games. Like, I think you could maximum, like,
I think
Poole is probably still the better. Poole is still the better player for now.
Mm-hmm.
And with Zion and Trey, you need that shooting.
Mm-hmm.
But I could also see where it's like a Poole, Bay, Carlo, Ease, like y'all are that second group. Hey, bro, run them off. Like, I need the starters to establish it.
And y'all run them out the building,
run them out the gym, and then Poole could still like close games because he shoots threes and free throws. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
I'm wondering. I think Herb loses his spot.
That's gonna be Poole. See, I don't think he's gonna lose it to Poole.
I could see the Fears Poole because JB like guards.
He do, but and
he played Terry and LaMelo.
Herb was but like that roster was also like just not good. Like they were literally Terry was probably like their legit second best player.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna, like you said, it's gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be interesting. Like I want to see what he does with it, because there's like you can't sit here and tell me like this team don't have enough offensively, especially the way Fears is playing. especially the way like Sadiq Bey is playing.
The way he said, I'm leaning into the offense makes me think I'm going. The lineup I've been Poole, Fierce, Trey, Z, Queen.
I think you could see that lineup. I just don't see it starting.
Well,
because there's too many people that need the ball.
We playing ball movement, motion offense, though. We passing that bitch around. We passing it around. All right. So he's done. I got one more, and then I know we almost 3 hours. I appreciate y'all. Trey, I'm gonna get you out of here. But Trey did hold on. Trey did his interview, and I ain't gonna pause it as much, but I kind of want to run Trey, and then we'll close out with that if you good with that. Sorry about appreciate everybody for joining the show, but like this is a big episode. This is a big big show to me, and I just don't want miss the opportunity to like really address everybody that had that was able to talk and speak on, because again, dog, this is years in the making. Like once JB got here, we 2 years from when we should have been possibly having this particular press conference, and like so everything that's happening right now is just a culmination of, I mean, dog, we've been talking about for months Willie should have been fired. So like appreciate y'all. So like the fact that it finally happened, I don't want to just be like, okay, not have an opportunity to just fully address everything that's said in their first opportunities before you get to play a game. Because once the game starts, you know what I mean? The conversation is different. But this is years in the making, dog. Like Trey Murphy is at a point where, he's like kind of culminated and got his opportunity to take over for BI. Like there is no BI in his way. They're like, Z, this is finally your team. Joe Dumars came in and said, this is your team. We got a coach where people was like, look, just give us competent coaching. So like, all of this stuff is just years in the making. So yeah, the episode 3 hours long, but respectfully, it was a lot being said. Like Joe Dumars, in my opinion, said a lot in his time. He answered a lot of questions that we're gonna have. Like, are the lineups yours? Borrego, what you think of the lineups? Well, look, everybody got an opportunity. He mentioned the Z Queen pairing, like specifically. So if you don't see the Z Queen pair, like all of that stuff matters when you know what I mean, when we've been waiting on dog. Like if we've been waiting on this moment for a long time. So like just to not fully put the appropriate, energy behind it is just kind of like, I think it would be doing it.
This couldn't be no 30-minute pie.
No, in my opinion, you know what I'm saying? So like, and it just so happened to be on a weekend. My bad. But Trey had an opportunity to speak. So like, I'm very interested to see what Trey's got to say, and Z, whenever Z get a chance to talk, what Z interview gonna seem like?
Z gonna be happy as hell.
Absolutely. But let's see what Trey. I'm gonna just pretty much let Trey go, like let it play out, and then we'll talk about it after.
All right. So Brittany, start this piece in the oven.
There you go. Yeah, I'm in that bit hungry too.
Firing up Willie Green, but how's the team taking the news, and how was practice today?
Practice was good. I mean, I feel like guys had.
I'm sorry. I know I said I wasn't gonna pause it. That bitch said practice was good.
You know they gotta still be humble about it.
Yeah, you can't be jumping for joy, but like practice was good.
A little bit of energy today. We're going through concepts, trying to figure out, what's going to change. And obviously, me and Willie started off at the same time, 5 years in, and so there's a lot of memories, and I have a lot of respect for him. But we understand it is a business, so we have to move on and continue the season.
Where there's all that talk around of, firing rumors and things of that nature, does that energy like affect the team, even if it's subconsciously?
I mean, everybody has social media here. We hear about it, but I mean, you try not to think about it too much. It's one of those things where you're still going out there trying to play the game of basketball. You're professional and you're doing your job. So no matter who is the coach, whether that is JB or Willie, you still have to go out there and do your job. And so that's on us as professionals to go out there and play basketball.
Trey, what can Borrego bring to this team?
I think he's going to bring another level of energy as well. He is he's a really high energy guy, and he has a really sharp offensive mind. And so I'm excited to hear what he has to say about different offensive things, different things that he sees throughout the game.
What do you anticipate just how things are going to look different on the court with Borrego as head coach?
I don't know for sure. I mean, we have the only sample that we have is from that game against Dallas, my third year, and that was it was a great game. We ended up winning that game by like 30 points or so in a cup game. So that's all we have is a sample size, and you don't know exactly what to expect. It's something that you can assume, but you never know. And playing against the Charlotte teams in the past, they were always really well coached and they ran their offense really well. So we'll see what we have to do here.
Does this feel like a fresh start for this team, like a fresh start on the season for you?
To an extent, we obviously understand the hole that we're in right now, but we know it's also a long season. We have 70 games left. We can also we can turn this thing around. Start off my rookie year 3-13 or 1-11, so and end up making the playoffs. So you never know what can happen.
Did James formally address the team yet since being named interim head coach, or what have those conversations with him and the team been like since he took over?
Yes, he has, and he, talked about his expectations. He talked about, what he wants from us. He talked about, just open line of communication, just a bunch of different things that, he wants from us and he expects from us. So, just really excited to get this thing started.
Do you have a message for maybe like the fans? Obviously, they want to see a winner. You've been really passionate in the community. Is there like a message you can give them that maybe the best is yet to come, or that there's plenty of season left? I don't know, just what you would tell them.
Don't give up on us. That's my message. Don't give up on us. Still show us support. We can turn this thing around. It's a very long season, and like I said again, don't give up on us.
Trey, you talked about Borrego's messaging. Did the energy feel different this morning? Did it feel like there's a different head coach?
Yeah, to an extent. Obviously, we understand what happened, but I mean, everybody here still had respect for Willie, so it's not one of those things where you're happy to see somebody go and lose their job. They still have a family to feed, they still have a life to live, and so we understand that part, but we understand too that it's time to go with James Borrego.
And how much is it an easier transfer because he's been around now for a few years?
No, it's pretty seamless, I would say, because we've heard from him. He's been a voice that we've known for a few years, and I feel very confident in him as a coach.
Did Joe talk to the team, and if so, what was his message?
Yes, he did talk to the team, and the biggest message was that what we had done in these 12 games was unacceptable. So it's time to really lock in and
trash. It's like, man, y'all, that's your garbage, man.
Listen, y'all suck. this is he talked there. He addressed the team. He let us know in these 12 games was unacceptable. You'll be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get through with you. Listen, y'all wanted
trade you to Brooklyn if y'all don't stop playing with me.
Y'all wanted this. Y'all wanted him gone. He gone. I don't want to see none of that. I saw these first 12 games. Like, none of it. I think that was the message. I think that was the message.
Joe talked to the media this morning saying that he would like the team to find an identity. In your eyes, what does the identity need to be for this team?
I think the biggest thing is it's hard to really say. You have to find your own identity, and I think we're figuring it out right now. I think the biggest thing for us is using our youth, which is being athletic, getting out in transition, playing fast on the defensive end as well as on the offensive end, being physical. So I think our youth, the whole speed and violence thing is kind of our thing right now. So we got to figure that out.
I know the speed and violence, our youth. Get these old ass dudes off my court, man. What are we doing?
Looney got to go, brother.
Coach obviously gets fired because he's the figurehead, but is there a sense of responsibility amongst the players, like maybe we didn't do enough and this guy lost his job because of that?
I mean, now this is kind of how this works in the NBA. When the coach goes, now it's okay, players, you have to figure it out, because that's just where it goes. People look at the head coach, he gets fired. Now it's like if something doesn't happen and something doesn't change, they're gonna look at the players like, okay, you guys weren't doing enough. Maybe it wasn't the coach. So we had that responsibility as well.
Troy, I've noticed during games that James is incredibly involved on the bench next to Willie and talking with y'all, energized and whatnot. Based on what you've seen from him in the games and what you know from him from Charlotte, does it make you kind of very confident that he can kind of lead this group and get y'all on the right track?
Very confident. No, definitely very confident. He's been under phenomenal coaches, probably one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game, and I'm very confident in his ability to lead this team.
Seems like Borrego's been around for a while. How much can really change in the middle of the season with a new head coach that's still already on the staff?
I feel like a lot can still change. You know, there can be a different energy in the building. There can be a different, philosophy or different ways to attack different game plans that could happen and, help us lead to wins.
All right.
Man, get these old dudes out here, man. We trying to play with pace and speed, and you got Kevon Looney who about a 5'6" 40.
Yo. Them dudes excited.
Yes.
Them dudes excited. He's
the group chat lit.
The group chat popping right now. Z was like, I see y'all boys Sunday. Z was probably like, I see y'all. No, listen, you know what? I wonder, because a lot of people be giving Z grief, like, man, listen, him sitting out like it's hurting the team. What if the team was like, Z, you already know they ain't gonna fire him if you playing? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what if they was all in on it? Like, dog, listen, we need you to go chill.
I think there's a lot of, clearly, like, we've heard some things, but there's a lot of like things that went on behind the scenes that we're here where we are. Like, there's a lot of like low effort. Like I said, like to the point, like Jose didn't play the first 2 games. Now all of a sudden he playing 20 plus minutes,
20 minutes a game. Yeah.
And again, like Jose should play. He should be a spot.
The pool injury, like
he should be getting minutes and stuff like that. But like, it can't be that easy, bro. Like, so like I could see Spurs game. Herb was horrible.
Yes.
Poole fouled out. You bring Herb back in. That should have been Sadiq Bey.
Yes.
In Willie's head, one, he loves Herb, but also 2 is we got to get a stop.
Yes.
Borrego is gonna be like, Bey got like 16 points and 3 or 5 from 3.
He should have 20. He might have 20 if you're playing extended minutes. Yes.
Charlotte, I think, or Dallas. I think it was Dallas. Bey was like 100% from 3 through the first 3 quarters and didn't even get a play ran from him in the 4th quarter.
Cold-blooded.
You know what I mean? Willie don't notice that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure Borrego's like, hey, maybe we should get Sadiq a touch.
A look.
Yeah. And Willie's like, no. So they're excited, bro. Like, this
I'm very interested. Like, and Trey was saying it without saying it, because again, you can't look too happy. You cannot look too happy with something like this. And y'all are 2-10.
Yep.
Regardless. But I think, and I hate to say it this way, but I think it took 2-10 for this to happen. Like, I think it took 1-9, something like it took something awful for the move to happen, because 500 not fired. Like, you know what I mean? Close to above 500, definitely not fired. Like, so, I'm just trying to like weigh the difference between how they look, because it was a concerted effort, in my opinion, still for him to be fired, which is also why I'm like wondering about the Z injury, the Poole injuries, stuff like that. Not saying they're not legitimate injuries, but like, I just think how Trey sounds, how JB sounds, how Joe, even Joe to a degree, it just seemed like they have an opportunity to now attack the season 70 games in. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Well, with 70 games left, and be like, dog, listen, 70 games, we could do a lot. Like, now we could really run some of the stuff we want.
JB telling them like, dog, we 2 games out of the play-in. We want to make the playoff. We 2 games out of the play-in. Like, let's do this.
You legit could fight for the 6th seed, bro.
Yep.
You legit could fight for the 6th seed, bro. Like, it's just, hold on. Last thing, I'm gonna pull up these standings on my phone real quick to look at where it's at. So Right now, the 7th seed is Phoenix with 8-5. Golden State is 7-6. Right.
Yep.
The 10 seed is Utah at 4-8. 4-8. And then Portland is 500. Though, if you could get to 500 or above 500, you're gonna have a shot.
You gotta have win streaks, bro. Like win 4. If you lose one, get another 4. Like, and that's how you climb,
that's how you chip away into it. I'm hoping you remember, and we'll close with this, man. Again, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody. The players don't need to be too happy. They're still the same dudes who got blew out by 30 all them times. That's true. That's true. But they're not getting blown out by 30 bad. They're not like they're not 30 losses bad. You seen them compete.
Half them 30-point losses was an effort thing. Like it just the Nuggets game. Like, bro, you started DeAndre Jordan. Like team morale is a big thing. Like team morale is definitely a big thing. And like when you got stuff like that happening, it's just like
and
last night we were down 5. Trey had it going.
Yes.
Early. It's 16-11. He had Luka on an island. And Willie called a timeout. And you saw Trey just like slam the ball and what are you? No feel for the game.
Yeah, and like I understood to a degree the timeout because they had like the Lakers had went on like a little run or something like that, but like Trey they finally started getting some rhythm. So like it's just a bad situation. But like as far as like their effort, though, it's hard to like when you've been, and I look at a lot of this as like relationships, right? Like to kind of make it personable for people. If you've been in a bad relationship, right? In the beginning of that relationship, you might be trying your best to work through some of that stuff. But when you 5 years into something and you know it's over and you know that person that broke up, like, no, how hard are you gonna try?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Are you
Especially
gonna try?
with the fact that like this ain't something that just happened this season. Like this has been going on since before last season. This has been going on after the 49 wins.
Yeah.
Like they've been
this
like
is during the 49 wins.
Yeah.
To be honest, this is during the 49 wins. So you
like
talk
they've
about
been out on Willie Green and wanting him
gone.
Like, gone. And it wouldn't look this bad had he been gone prior to the season. So
I agree. And you saw game 1, game 2. You've seen games. You even in the games they've gotten blown out in, you've seen like life in the team. Though again, you lost by 30 to Boston, but you down 5 in the 4th quarter on a run. And it's just no adjustments, no nothing. Yep. Like the team is trying to give effort, but again, you were at a disadvantage every game with your coaching. If your players, like technically you at a disadvantage sometimes with your roster, because if the roster is not maximized, now the roster is also at a disadvantage. So like not playing people, it's just so many things that'll like kill your spirit. Like it's hard to play hard when I know this shit ain't gonna work.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm playing right into their hands. And like it's hard to like, dog, even Trey had a good game yesterday, but look how hard Trey had to work for all of those buckets. Like nothing was coming easy. So it's just ideally, you know, with the change, you get a boost in spirits. You get a guy whose strength is the strength of the league today, because you got to be an offensive mind in today's game to like it's kind of like the NFL too. Like defensive coaches don't win. You know what I mean? Like you got to have the offensive strategy rolling for this thing to
have
be
an elite
competitive
coordinator.
Yes, absolutely.
To do it.
Yeah. With that being said, man, I appreciate everybody for tapping in, though. Mike, 3 hours in, though. Our longest pod so far, and I think it was I think it was a great show, to be honest. We covered a lot of content. Hopefully, we gave a lot of information while also letting people know that I think we all played a part in the firing happening. You know what I mean? Like everybody played a part. For those who signed the petition, appreciate you.
That get out there. PR, pay attention to all this stuff, bro.
Absolutely. Hey, you know they got a petition going to get the coach out. That's crazy. So like all of that matters, man. But again, appreciate everybody for joining the show. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all Saturday, the rest of y'all weekend. For Mike B, dog, appreciate you for tapping in and staying in this long. Hey,
always, brother. Can't wait to do another pod when we start winning on this win streak.
Absolutely, bro. There you go. Hold on. Let's turn this around. Sunday fun day. You know what I mean? Let's tap into the show. I'm A. Davis. That's Mike B. Pels in the blender. Y'all enjoy y'all week and everybody stay safe. Peace. Y'all be cool.